we've started recording.
Does it say stop recording?
Alright, so yeah, last time we left off, you were outside of Lord/Mayor Clark's keep and figuring out what to do next in the city of Ispin.
Do we know anything about him? Like, is he...
Well, we just got here.
He's just full of himself?
Yeah,
he was pretty grand. He held himself in really high esteem.
Yeah.
He's trying to elevate classes levels faster than he should be.
I guess my question is just how did he amass so much money so quickly? But I'll defer to Milady. It's in the grand scheme of things, he does not matter.
I agree. Maybe. I have to do a little bit more investigation.
So you're gonna send me dragon around?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah!
All the noise.
A 2?
A left hand?
Listen, man, you're giving me a 2.
All right. So I want to do reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance
Swamp.
Reconnaissance!
All right.
So I guess
yeah, I think we decided on a mile.
Yeah, within a mile.
Yeah.
And I was gonna do a wisdom perception check, kind of like a bloodhound.
Okay.
That's what it has. She has advantage on sight and smell for perception checks.
Excellent.
So we have something from her, right?
We have chest.
I have her eye.
Don't you have didn't somebody get like a chest?
Oh yeah.
I took a couple things from. Oh god.
No, I got the chess pieces made.
Yeah. You technically have a bunch of her stuff.
Yeah. So I'll have her
smell my
sniff
chest
all of
pieces.
that.
Smell my chest.
Okay. So I won't, but you will.
Just do it anyway. Just smell it.
Just give it a little
How does the jet feel
And
about
then
this?
have him fly around and sniff.
No sniffing, Milady.
All right. Give me that perception check.
It's okay if it's consensual.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Child.
I forgot what its pluses are. I'm the worst ever.
Young lady.
You're just an old man.
All right. Does anybody else know what they want to do while he's doing that?
Pseudo darken.
I'm gonna wait to see if this thing gets us sent.
All right. I mean, it is going to take time. If it has a mile radius, it's going to fly around for a little bit. 18. Okay. Yeah.
Smell stuff.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
But we're in town still, just chilling.
Yeah, you're free to roam about the town and do everything.
Well, we might as well check it out.
I
think I have money.
Let's go shopping.
was very hastily printing things before I left for my show this afternoon and turned off my computer while it was printing, so there was only like partial map. Unfortunately, so that was my screw up. But it is a more full human colony than the last one. It's definitely more on the basis of like an actual city.
Yeah.
Like small city. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna go check it
Yeah.
out.
Like Strongsville. Not.
And it has a big market square in the middle and all that, and there's a huge church way at the back.
I go ahead to the market square and see if there's any other druids around.
All right.
I need a new net.
I need a new dress.
What are you doing?
Because I thought I
You
would
just
find dress
concentrating on your thing.
Yeah, I'll focus on my pseudo darken.
I am going to look around and see if there are any magic-y type of shops.
All right.
You have to like guide me around.
What the fuck is this? Oh, okay.
Oh,
if I'm perceiving through it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can just send it. Like, if you find something, let me know. Or I can focus through it and get an idea of what's going on.
Walk him into a well.
Sebastian?
Hmm?
Would it be possible for you to carry the angel man?
I weigh 145 pounds. No armor.
So,
Suppose.
a quick question about the pseudo dragon. Are you able to like see through it then, or are you able to communicate with it somehow?
Yeah, well, the two are bonded. The companion can sense what the pseudo dragon senses as long as they're within 1 mile of each other.
Okay.
So you were.
But other than that, like you're not able to talk to it, or
pseudo dragon can't speak, but they communicate using a limited form of telepathy that allows the user to share basic ideas such as hunger, curiosity, or affection. When it bonds with a companion, a pseudo dragon can communicate with what it sees and hears even over long distances.
Okay.
The pseudo dragon often vocalizes animal noises, and rasping purr indicates pleasure. And then it just goes through. But
Margaret, bitch.
yeah, so when normally it can only do emotion, but when it's bonded, it can actually just telepathically tell me basic things.
Okay.
Like found it. That's the word I'm looking for. Is found it.
Got it.
Or I'm on it. Boss.
When you say that you're looking for another druid, was that looking for like something specifically, like a shop, or are you just asking around to see if anyone?
College.
Well, really, you just kind of see what the town has to offer. He might search out other druids just because to have someone else to talk to who doesn't annoy him.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
Do we annoy you?
What didn't we do?
I annoy him the least.
So far, yeah, 21.
21. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take you long to find out that there is farmland that's sort of gated off on the outside of the city, and that there is a druid that like helps take care of the land there, and that he also helps out with the farmland that is usable by the church.
Okay, I'm gonna go his way and talk about leaves and shit.
Okay.
Leaves and compost.
Yeah. It's easy enough to find a clothing shop. You said you wanted to buy a fine dress.
Fine dress, yes. I forgot to buy it on my starting inventory, so I need to buy it now.
All right.
Fair enough.
Yes, you meet Lel Belel, who runs the clothing
How many
and
L's?
has
6.
Lel.
Billow.
Belel.
Belel.
It's Belel. Lel Belel.
She talks to Julia Childs too.
Yeah, so that's 6 L's.
Okay, I got 4. Where do I need the other 2?
L-E-L-L-E.
Oh my god, how many E's are in this name?
6. It's just L's and E's.
And a B.
So is it
That should be like
B-L-E-L-L-E?
It's L-E-L-L-E and then B and then her name again.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's right. I was asking that. Is it another? Jesus Christ.
But yeah, she's.
There's more than 3 letters in the alphabet.
She don't know that. Her parents don't know that.
Yeah, they don't care.
The other
But she's a very
person's name?
rambunctious older woman who's sort of running around her shop, and she herself is wearing like a fine, flowing pink dress.
Pink.
Pink, yeah.
Pink. I can't
Pink.
have pink on white.
She's not gonna sell you the dress she's wearing.
She's wearing it.
Just saying. I'm just saying.
Make this hard.
Yeah, so
Give me your dress.
yeah, so you walk in and there's like a tingle of a bell above the door, and she goes, "Oh, coming!" And then as she comes around, she actually sees, "Oh, what can I do for you? What are
I
you?
would like a dress.
I love this voice.
Are you sure?"
That's all I can hear.
This is now fun.
Yes.
Yes, I am sure.
Well, all right. Would you like to take a look at our inventory, or did you want me to make you one specifically?
Oh, there you go. Custom tailored.
I'm not too knowledgeable. As a player, I'm not knowledgeable about dresses enough to have a custom-made dress.
Sounds like a personal problem.
I was talking as a player, not as character.
Are you a boss?
Yeah, I just. So was I.
Absolutely. I will look around the shop.
Right, I will be in the back. Just ring the bell if you need anything. And she heads on to
Oh
the
my
back.
god.
And
Are you telling me this bell is
Lel.
Belel's bell?
Yes.
Wait, what? Oh, ring the bell.
Well, Belel's bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm stealing.
Ring it.
And yeah, as you look around, she does do clothes for men and women. The women's clothes are in very sort of her palette, what's the word I'm looking for? Pastel whites, pinks, yellows,
The flowery color.
bluish greens like teals and stuff like that.
Very floral.
What was Celine wearing?
Oh god.
When Rosa saw her, she was wearing a
blue
It
dress.
was blue? I want to say it was like light blue.
Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, I remember blue dress.
So if it's a similar style, maybe you could ask if.
I didn't see the dress. I don't know.
Yeah, I believe I mentioned it was a blue dress. And it was like older, and she had sort of like a gypsy look to her as well.
Yeah, she did. I saw a picture in my head.
Yeah.
Have you seen a picture of her?
Nope.
I have a picture of her in my head.
Good.
Oh,
That's fair.
Then my job is done.
try to get that to us when you can.
Alright, I'll print it out.
It's not fighting.
Please wait.
So you're Sebastian's carrying you around.
I'm gonna look up colors and get back to you on what
Got it.
color.
How are you carrying me?
Well, he has chains, so I was going to lash you to my back.
Just drag him by a foot.
Yeah.
I feel stuff.
Yeah, it's okay.
I just can't
tie you up,
You
with
like
the feet,
pain?
drag.
I can talk, but I
Joy.
can't hear.
Sebastian, there are a number of general goods stores around, especially in the market and everything.
Ow.
He's
I'm just
carrying
sitting
you
there
on a
like,
papoose.
I was thinking fireman's carry, but alright.
I
A
need
papoose would be
to,
way more fun.
I guess, check out a shop that would have.
And are you really carrying him around?
I guess.
Okay.
Because I'm focusing my senses to the familiar.
Okay.
We
I
don't
need
always sort
to
of
go
sit him on
to-
a park bench like the Forrest Gump.
How do you?
So I'm essentially blind right
How do you imagine? What do you imagine you do when you're like? Is it sort of like a close your eyes and meditate sort of thing, or?
Oh, it's like a Stevie Ray when he plays the piano. I'm just like,
Stevie Ray, Stevie Wonder.
I'm Stevie Ray.
Stevie Ray Vaughan is a guitar player.
Yeah.
One, not blind. Two, the other blind
Different instrument.
musician.
So I joined
is
the two
Ray
good
Charles,
magicians
I believe.
together.
All right, fair enough.
He's like a blind Stevie Ray.
Okay.
He's like,
Stevie Wonder.
Ray Charles is
And
the other blind pianist.
Yeah.
Alright.
that's funny.
So I
Stevie Wonder
imagine
makes you
I'm
cry.
going to
It's a wonderful
fishing
thing, being able to
supply
fly
store.
around.
Yes, that'll work too.
Nathan, I came across a color and I don't know. I actually
Chartreuse.
doubt it's listed, but for
Pumpernickel?
other canon and
Can you just show
laughter,
it?
is amber available?
I'm Amber.
No, no ambers.
Amber's below Bellel's daughter.
Yeah.
Amber below.
Yeah, but it's
No, her daughter needs to be named Silver Bellows.
Silver
That's her middle name. Amber Silver Bellows.
yeah, there's a woman running sort of like a bait and goods store. Her name is Shay.
Shay, like
Shea below.
Guevara.
Where did she go?
or
Shay Haddock.
Okay.
Shay
What
like
does she
this.
look like?
Hmm?
What does she look like?
She has brown hair that sort of has like a braid going around to the back. It's short hair. She's wearing, I guess like, she has a green apron on with a white undershirt, and she has a big mole on her right cheek.
So would we say
She
she's
has a
attractive
A
or?
big mole like she has a beauty mark like a Marilyn Monroe.
No,
or
like
a big mole like
a
Enrique
mole,
Iglesias
Like you can't
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
looking at it even though you know it's wrong.
like it's a Cocoa Puff stuck to it.
Yeah, she is pretty. She is younger, but there is the
Okay, so I come in and immediately. Well, Sebastian comes in and immediately flatters. My goodness, I came for fishing supplies, but I wasn't aware they brought in treasure from the bottom of the sea.
She just
What a long lost artifact. I don't know, something
It's really good.
flattering.
Really good.
Really?
What a long last art.
That's sick.
Some
What a
long
long
lost.
lost
Yeah.
artifact you
Old
look
and
like.
damn.
yeah.
I'm old?
Are you saying I'm moist?
She said treasure at first.
Are you insinuating someone tried to drown me?
No, milady, I'm insinuating that you are a beauty.
I got you. You're fine.
Gotcha.
Um,
I'm not good at that. That's the kind of character I want to be, okay?
Yeah, it's legit for you to say, I say something charming.
No, I want her to. I want
Oh,
her
no,
to
we're gonna
describe it.
practice
Yeah,
this.
it's way funner when I
Yeah.
describe it.
No, vicious mockery is
Funner.
fun like that.
Funner.
yeah.
Funnier.
This is
He said funner. Made up another word.
Funner.
funner.
So what can I get for you?
Show me your nuts.
What?
Oh.
That sounded
That's
completely
not dirty
different.
at all.
All right, just over here, and there's a hook on a wall.
Tackle fishing shop. Yeah, it's within.
There's 2 nets hanging on a couple hooks.
Okay.
Okay.
Pricing.
Get hooks.
I had hooks. Remember, I was gonna like attach hook,
Right.
create my own.
Yeah. She might be able to help you.
Captain hooks.
Yeah, probably.
Oh my
I also
God.
have a grappling hook, but
But
that's
she's-
also
she's-
useful for
she's-
climbing.
She's looking
Would
to
it be
do lots of
possible
little
to
fish.
attach these hooks for a nominal fee?
Would it be possible to attach these hooks for a nominal fee?
Of 1995.
Nathan,
It's a bait dagger shop,
would
not a
French
size.
wine be available?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome, that's what I want.
It'll be a little more faded than that. Like, it won't be as vibrantly
Okay.
bright.
I figured
but-
since I'm French, I must honor my French heritage by having French line.
Okay.
Hit her
You
in
want
the right
both or
foot.
just the one?
Both, I think.
Okay, that'll be 2 copper then.
Not right leg.
Right arm.
That's probably my left leg though.
Thank you. And you want me to do what with them?
Attach these hooks to the ends.
Yeah.
Like throughout.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could do that. I've never done it before. It might take me the better part of the day, but for 5 more copper, I could set you up with that.
Can I talk her down?
Barter.
Can you?
Would you as a
Whoa.
gentleman?
May I talk her down? Yes, you may.
It'd be like a
What do I
persuasion.
This would be persuasion. Yeah.
So D20, then I do persuasion.
I cannot talk her down. She was
Natural one.
offended by my
It's like, make cheaper. Huh?
Yeah.
No.
The third roll of the evening.
She raises the price. You went from charming to insulting her.
I want her to raise the price. I think we should do it for 6 copper.
Yeah, but normally it's 5, but for you, 20.
Yeah. She's like, I'll have that done for you by the end of the day. She goes behind the counter,
No,
kind of gives you a sideways glance on her way back.
Oh, that's so backfired. I need to practice my persuasion at home.
Yes. Yeah.
I
Just
can't.
compliment me.
I can't.
You should just come in with like a list of
That's a good idea.
sort of one-liners or
Yeah.
something.
No, I mean, I literally just wrote down how much of insults I'm going to use.
I told you, Joe, our bard,
Oh, when I multi-class the bar.
he uses vicious mockery all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
And he has like a whole thing. He's like, he ticks him off as he goes. He's like, your mother's so bad, blah, 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 blah. He's like, oh, it hurt.
Okay. I'm gonna Google some flattery while we're
There you
waiting.
go.
Because I suck at that.
Alright, my turn.
And then Rosa, you're in the square and it's busy, and you see there's a shop that says the Mage's Hand on like a wooden plaque that's hanging above the doorway. And there's a guy who looks really down on his luck. He's sitting on the front stoop, and it looks like he's using prestidigitation to just make like little fireworks come out of his hand and little effects, and everyone's just ignoring him and walking by him.
Jeez, if this guy doesn't have a glowing question mark above his head.
So magic's common in this world, because I forgot
I
how
thought the exclamation
common
point was
or
after
uncommon
you did it.
magic is.
Yeah, no, the
question
world
mark
is,
is like
and I'm planning on correcting this. I'm working on like a
We just needed to Google pickup lines.
campaign Bible kind of thing that I'm gonna put in the chat once I finished it. But yeah, you would all know that generally this land is ripe with magic.
Okay, I'm forgetting as a player because there's 4
Right.
campaigns ongoing.
Yeah, no, yeah. Here there's magic everywhere. It's just that in the human colonies, there's a lot of belief that somehow magic might be responsible for the plague, and so people just kind of generally avoid magic,
Isn't this a human colony?
seemingly.
Wouldn't they be
So-
freaking out that he's doing this?
No, they're just ignoring him
Oh, okay.
and letting him.
Clearly, that magic is harmful or harmless, or both.
Or they just know.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll walk up to this guy.
With all sparky teeth.
Does he look like? Excuse me, sir. Are you the proprietor of this establishment?
Yeah, he's wearing a long sleeve blue shirt with pants that match and a gold buckled belt around it, and he has long brown hair that's in a ponytail. And he kind of perks up when you walk over, and he's like, yes, I am. Do you want something? Come in. And he just kind of drags you in.
It's climate change.
Oh.
Yeah, if you think about it, in a human colony, not many people would buy magic things, so like he has no customers ever. He's freaking bored.
Probably
and-
very hungry.
He
Unless he can craft food.
and it's a smaller store, and all he really he has a couple empty shelves on either side of the room, and then on the main counter he has just a few different items, and then Muffins.
Oh.
And there's a sign that says fluffy muffins for sale.
God, can I smell them? Wait, hold on. I'm not there.
You're not
there.
What? I'm being carried around by her.
She's in the bait shop. You're with her smelling
She would
fish.
leave you?
Your dragon smells baked goods.
She told me to.
These fluffy muffins. What? She's a man. Just with Scottish. These fluffy muffins. These fluffy muffins. What are they?
They are my own creation. I've been trying my hand at a bit of enchanting. They will.
What? Enchanted what?
They're sort of a charm. I've been selling them mainly to people as sort of presents for angry wives. That's if you want to improve someone's disposition, and it'll heal you a little bit.
Okay. I'm gonna do an insight check on this guy to see if he's lying.
And then muffin the cast
Ready?
23.
He seems incredibly desperate and excited for you to buy something.
I might want to try one of those, but I'm actually looking for something in particular.
What do you got? Maybe I can hook you up. He reaches. He's like, "Oh, I'll be right back," and he goes to the back and he has like, it looks like a junk box, and it has like failures like etched on it, and has this random assortment of items in there.
It's so sad. It sounds so
I'm
sad.
looking for glasses or
Okay. Okay. What do you want them to do?
you are like me.
Yes.
We have a hard time seeing at the night.
Yes.
I want something that may help me.
A lot of videos you can see about that.
I have something for you. And he runs in the back, and you hear rummaging. And then he comes back and he's sort of dusting off a pair of goggles. And you see that one of the lenses even has a crack in it. He says, they're not the best, but they'll help you a little bit.
Gives you dark vision too.
Yes. I'll take a look at them and inspect them.
Okay.
Try them on. You have a dark room.
Sure, you can come into the back, and he goes out first and like snuffs the.
He's a wizard.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you walk back, you try them on, and it's like goggles of night, except your dark vision is only 30 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's because they're cracked.
Yeah, correct. And he didn't
He's
enchant
not the
them well
best.
enough. Yeah.
I'd be using my insults if I was there.
But you're not, so I need to get good deal. How much for you?
I was thinking he looks you over. 25 gold.
25 gold, not bad. A broken one. I'm also in the market for something else. Maybe
what?
we can add this as part of it. Make a deal.
Okay.
As you can see,
I can't.
I'm actually blind. As you can see, I use this bow.
Mm-hmm.
Just for hunting. And
Yeah.
I'm a very good shot.
Okay.
Occasionally, I might lose an arrow.
He starts to look a little worried now.
I don't like to buy arrows.
Okay.
I don't like to retrieve them.
Okay.
Maybe you have something like a quiver that may hold more, or
I've heard of something like that. I don't have one.
it's okay.
I could. He goes
Anything
behind
that
the.
may help.
Yeah, he goes behind the counter and
As
starts.
an archery,
you
as
hear-
an archer, what would benefit an archer?
Yeah, you hear him going through papers and flipping through books. He's like, I don't. I could maybe enchant something, but all I really have are some defective enchanted items and goggles and a few potions, the muffins, a few scrolls, and I have this key. And he holds up a key, and it's black, and it has like a flower design on the end, but it has no head.
Useless.
It's just like a little bar, and then it ends. It doesn't have like the teeth.
The tumbler.
Yes.
Not for.
What's that for?
This will open any lock.
Oh damn.
Oh, how much for that?
60 gold.
Wow.
60 gold. I'll tell you what. These glasses are broken. If I buy 2 things, how much of a discount can you do that? Bundling. So we have 60 plus 25. We have 85 gold, and I promised to buy a couple of your muffins.
Okay.
So it's 85 gold and some copper.
Okay. Let's see. The muffins are usually 3 silver. I mean, like, kind of doesn't matter that. How about just 55 even?
55 even sounds fantastic.
Oh my god! He goes, "How many muffins did you want?"
I'll tell you what. You give me how many you think I earned.
Okay.
These
How many
deal.
coppers are in a gold piece?
He gives you 3, and he tells you that he just baked them today, and they're only good for 3 days. And the fluffy muffin, it will heal you for 3 hit points, and it is sort of like a charm effect that gets put on the person. So like if you give to someone, it would sort of be like the friend spell or charming them, where they would become more amenable towards you.
Okay.
That's an amazing plot.
Yeah.
For a store.
Yeah.
Give free muffins, you get friends, and then you like can sell them anything. It's brilliant.
Free samples.
That's why I didn't eat it before.
Free mints!
Yeah.
Free mints for anyone! Everybody always needs the free mints. It's brilliant! That's what I'm doing when I retire.
And
Remember this.
you got it.
Not
And-
you, the camera.
Oh,
How is the
We'll forget it.
not
The
you.
camera won't.
Not you, America.
And other countries.
Wow, I was gonna say, other audiences gonna watch.
and the key is, it's an orbital key with 1 charge.
Oh shit.
Meaning it can open any lock, but once and after the charge is used, it's destroyed.
Okay.
Oh damn.
Is there a way to recharge?
Nope.
Charge?
That's probably just
That's a pretty juicy one.
What did you just say?
You have a hacky sack.
I do.
That's what I heard.
Magical.
If you really have a hacky sack, dude, come on.
Of course he does.
He has a hacky sack.
Well, you don't know him, but of course he does.
Haversack.
How much of a
Dude,
hacky
I'm
sack?
about to bulk buy a ton of them from Amazon. Because you can get like 100 for like $15.
But why?
Because I live with John.
He has 100.
Yeah, but now if they break, we don't have to go like, oh, well, can't do anything.
How do you break a hacky sack?
Rip a
You
hole
kick
in
it really
and
hard,
the-
and then all the beads fly everywhere.
You're either really bad at hacking or really bad at sacking him.
Yes, a little bit of both.
But so he gives you the items and he shakes your hand vigorously. He's like, thank you so much. Tell people, just if you're hanging around town, just let them know that this is, so please come buy something.
Haversack.
I was gonna say, hand out the
I
muffins.
will let, I will let the rest of my
We
party
got some
know.
weird pigeons out today.
How long you know?
Haversack.
Can pigeons mimic voices? That'd be awesome.
I don't think they can.
Is
no.
pigeons in the mustard?
I don't think of anything else
Ask
that
Mike
might help
Tyson.
other than your common bag of holding.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have that.
I do. That's okay. I will let my friends know. Thank you very much. You've been a
Thank
big
you,
help.
thank you. And he's like whistling as he goes back into the store.
I'm whistling as I walk out because I'm like, I'm gonna find something to put mending on these things. That's a deal.
As you're focused on concentrating on your, does the pseudo dragon have a name?
I haven't got one yet.
Edgar.
You know, I meant to think about
We're
it.
gonna choose one in like 3 seconds.
Drake.
3.
Clifford.
Clifford.
Left hand.
You
Okay.
can't have that.
No, we're using Clifford to be the evil dog.
Yeah.
Evil red dog. You can't
That's
just
too
like-
confusing. Hey, Clifford, did you see Clifford yet? No.
Yeah.
But Clifford's dead.
What,
We don't know
a
that.
Clifford.
A
yeah.
Clifford.
Yeah.
Just
could be
'cause you killed
Clifford
one doesn't
B.
mean you killed the whole race.
Maxwell.
Alright, just carry
Drake.
on.
Okay,
How is
but
it not
as he's flying around,
Maxwell Drake III.
it's actually once he's over the walls of the city that his scent picks up something outside of the city walls on the opposite side that you came from. which would be the western side, they have fenced-in farmland, and there are there's a horse there, which the dragon recognizes.
Oh.
That's handy.
Well, I recognize.
Wait.
I'm looking through his eyes.
You both.
But you're not smelling through it's
You perceive through his senses. You see it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm deaf and blind. I don't smell actually. Through the dragon.
That's what you perceive through his senses.
No, I looked it up. Just see, you get the scent and hearing, or you get
Sight.
vision and hearing.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm deaf and blind.
Kind of bizarre. Okay, whatever.
On your way up to the church to
We'll go to a church.
were you going up to the farms to try and find him? Okay. On your way out, you get the usual stares, shrieks, mothers pulling their children away.
It's like a lullaby to me.
Yeah.
Stoners coming
Yes,
by.
you hear the cries of the weak
Yeah, exactly.
as they shrivel at your appearance.
Yeah.
And
The mewling and baying is
yes.
fine.
And you make your way out, and there are a few people working the land since it is just a little bit past midday. There's only a couple out, and it looks like they're finishing up. And then you see someone who is throwing seeds, and almost as soon as the seeds are down and pushed into the ground, they sprout just a little bit.
Zephyrus will be his name.
I like
That's
it.
normal.
That's fine.
It's a dragon. What's a normal name for a dragon?
Hey, dragon.
Yeah.
Clint,
Dragon McDragon's face.
Chad.
Bob the dragon.
My name is Tikriel Isovan. You think he's gonna be named
Yes,
something
seriously.
So
normal?
it's Zephyrus.
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 Dragon
Like Zephyr,
fire
just with an
face.
Yes, Zephyrus.
I mean, I guess
Fire face.
Mr.
Dragon fire.
Lel Balel can't complain about anybody else's names,
No, you
can they?
Lel Belel.
Ring the bell for Nobel.
But yeah, so based on that, you would gather that he's probably the druid.
Yes, some sense of druidic magic.
Yeah.
Right. I would make my way up to him.
Mhm.
And say, hello, fellow child of the earth. May I speak to you for a moment?
Yeah, and he gives you like a glance, and he hesitates for a second, but he doesn't seem so put off. And he's like,
yeah.
"What can I do for you?" And he's like, "Don't mind if we talk while I work."
I'll help.
Okay, yeah. And he hands you a sack.
Let me keep going.
Yeah, he hands you a sack with seed and shows you sort of the spacing that he's doing and throwing the seeds down. He's like, "So, what can I do for you?"
Well, I am. This is John. Not entirely. I'm a suggestion. Not entirely sure what I'm looking for. Lady with an eye in her head. Well, we have the eye. So looking for a lady.
The lady with the eye in her head is dead.
No, go at her.
Okay.
Zed-
Okay.
We're looking for Celine,
I
who's
wasn't-
potentially the master of.
Okay. So
And Celine would have been described to you as
Okay.
an older lady,
Okay.
an older woman.
I will. In that case, I'll just generally inquire about the things we are searching for.
Okay. He's like, well, can't say anything about any women showing up, but we did have this horse come running in near the town, middle of the night. Strange thing.
By itself.
Mm-hmm.
No rider.
No riders.
I take it this is not a common occurrence.
Sure isn't. As big as Ispen is, as well as we've done, don't get a lot of visitors outside of, trading and the things we need.
Did the horse appear frightened?
Oh, she was running, that's for sure.
I just can't.
That's potentially helpful. Can I see the horse?
Absolutely, and it's just tied up outside of the gate. They don't have it in the stable, and it's still sort of panicking and trotting. Yeah.
Yeah, baying the ground. Nope, I took that spell away because fuck pigeons. If I get a chance for a long rest, I'll put it back. But I did not prepare that spell today.
I made the pigeons a core part of my world.
Oh, of course. It has to be at this point.
That's it. I'm gonna murder
I love
everyone
it.
with bitches.
I love it.
I basically replaced all crows with pigeons.
What a terrible world.
Am I
so
seeing the
much
horse
poop.
that he's looking at right now?
I'm sorry?
Am I seeing the horse that he's looking at right now?
Yeah, you see him.
Are you
would
with
see
her?
him.
Yeah.
She's not with him.
No, dude.
Yeah, I'm
No.
I have to see
flying
the dress.
around.
Yes, that's right. I forgot.
It's like 5 times.
I can fly twice as high.
I thought you were
Well,
looking
it's the second time he's tried to interrupt anybody else.
searching.
No, because they intertwine.
He is, but the pseudo dragon smelled the horse, and he's looking down there.
Yeah.
And I see the horse.
Yep, yep.
And then now I see him.
Yes.
And then now I tell her.
Yep.
Him.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a horse.
Tell him.
Him or it.
Aha! I see the horse.
He just sprouts the life. Like, what the hell?
I haven't used the voice at all.
Where do you go?
I like that everything starts with aha.
Well, because it's like a eureka moment. Like, ah! I see it.
You're just
actually, it's just well.
yeah. What happened? So you accidentally insult the storekeeper, and then as she's walking away, he looks up and goes, "Ha ha! I see the horse," and it becomes a glare.
Yeah, you can use my
I'm also gonna
Just walk away.
Also gonna cast attack magic.
Is this what time of day is this?
It's probably 2 in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
I forget how it works.
It's a 30-foot range.
30-foot radius.
Oh no! It's
I think it's a
10-minute, and you just look around.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. I think it takes a minute to cast, maybe, and then you get it
Well,
for 10
10
minutes
minutes
in a
You
30-foot
can
radius.
use it as a ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
it's 10 minutes.
No, concentration up to 10 minutes. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you.
Okay, and what's the casting time?
1 action.
Oh, okay, good.
Unless he casts it as a ritual.
Cast it as a ritual. You don't use a spell slot.
As you, what do you go? I suppose we could, but I mean, it's a level 1 spell. I'm not using anything else.
You
I'd rather
know
move
that?
along.
Just cast it as ritual. 10 minutes go by. There, it's
Yeah,
passed.
I'll say-
Yeah, I can.
Oh man, time took so long.
Isaac's really impatient.
Alright, fair enough.
Flavor.
I like that. I could do a ritual, but then I just
It takes so
around.
takes
long.
so long.
Progress bars, man.
Yeah. No, he's an impatient.
It just sits at 99% and does it.
Yeah, so as you're walking
Still
around,
buffering.
you do sense a magical quality to the grounds of Earth that have been worked on, but nothing else catches your eye.
I'll inspect the hizzy.
Give me that investigation. Investigation.
Can you help me with your super dragon?
Do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, I know.
Sure.
That'll work.
Yeah.
That'll be a 22.
Inspecting the horse, you notice that on its right rear thigh,
Actually 23, not that that matters too much.
Okay. but yeah, on its right rear thigh, it has like a small open wound, as if someone whacked it really hard to get it running.
I see. Anything in the saddlebags? Anything?
Oh no, it's just the horse.
Just the horse.
Mhm.
Okay. And nothing else unusual about the horse.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, that's something at least. I suppose I will head back to Drew's buddy and say, let's go. Is there anything in this town of interest for people like us?
Well, I do this inside and outside. that's pretty much it.
There are worse places to spend your time.
Yeah, and it keeps me safe. Lost a family member, so this isn't so bad.
What'd you lose a family member to?
Daughter, well, to the plague.
So you're like back to life.
Is that what you call? Is it?
You need to
You know more than anyone that you don't. What do you call? That you don't lose family members. You feed something stronger.
Of course, but there is something. There is a worth to being able to hold them, being able to tell them goodnight, and that sort of thing. I know it's kind of silly, but it mattered to me.
Okay, so that's what I was generally inquiring about shops. If there are any, what's it called? Are there any? I'm asking him.
Yeah.
Like what's it called? Generally about life in the town. If you've seen anything unusual of late, and generally also if there are magic store for druids, I should frequent.
We do have one gentleman who attempts to sell some magic goods in town, though it doesn't do him a lot of good. But
why doesn't it do him any good?
well, nobody here is really interested in magic. But
Actually, I was gonna ask you about that. Don't forget the but. So this what's the Lord's name?
the mayor /
Mayor.
lord is Clark.
Clark. Yeah. So Mayor Clark. It was good. Any idea where he gets this overinflated sense of self-importance? The man speaks a lot for someone who says nothing.
Yeah, he does. He hasn't made his way up to the church or out here much where I spend my time, but from what I've heard of him, he has ties with a couple of the lords in Cathis, which is the capital of the continent that you're on. And so he fancies himself in their prestige and hopes to one day be a lord there himself.
is the town's disinterest in all things magical, arcane magic, nature magic, or all of the above?
Pretty much all the above. If it's not regular.
Did that come from fear of the plague or from fear of Clark?
Oh, definitely the plague. Yeah, Clark himself, I'm not sure how he feels about magic. I think he, since he lets that guy have his store in town, that he just has his own agenda and doesn't really mind what happens in the town as long as it stays peaceful.
Is there anything I'm forgetting to ask him?
What's your
No,
character?
okay.
MISHA.
Okay.
You barely covered the thing about that guy, Clark.
Yeah, so.
Might need to ask him to turn off
We
the
found out how to turn up the sound a lot.
Might need to ask him to turn it
Oh,
down.
that's Christian?
I finally got the music working.
We figured
Yeah, I
out.
was wondering, do you ever want to add music and stuff?
Oh yeah, I just, even though I've had like a couple weeks between sessions, I've had rehearsals and work and auditions and everything that it gets lost in everything else I'm trying to remember to do. But yes, I definitely want music.
Because I mean, I can look up like free stuff, so you can just like click and go
Yeah.
if you want. 'Cause
Right.
I already have a couple ideas of where stuff can be.
Yeah, like I said,
Shouldn't flag it for copyright.
yeah, and like I said,
Like I
that's-
can't imagine they can copyright like
right.
town
And,
town sounds.
yeah, and it'll be
Like,
easy.
how do you
and-
copyright
You can get that on YouTube.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and it'll be easy enough to if we have to just say, hey, we're going to use your music on our thing. Hope that's all right.
Okay.
If not, we'll monkey
If
some.
not, then all you do is lose
If not, go
video
through
on
YouTube
demand.
and get it taken down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll link you in our thing or whatever.
What was her character?
Do I see Mr. Pseudo-Drake?
Smash. So back.
Perception check. Because it doesn't fly directly over the farm, but he does.
17? 19.
Yeah, you would see it. It looks abnormal to any other seabirds that would be in the sky.
Okay, I'll glance up to it and I'll glance up to it and gesture.
Oh, I'm out of the set already.
Why would you don't think there's
I saw the horse and I'm like, hey! I told her.
You don't want to look, you don't want to take a closer look before you jump into this thing?
Why would I need to see clothes? We go there. We were gonna go there.
Sure, that could save a trip.
Me and her are on the way.
Whatever. I'm probably. I was gonna
So
say.
we might actually like meet you there.
Maybe I was gonna say. I'm gonna track the horse. Because I mean, if
The
it
horse
was.
is in front of you.
I know. I'm gonna track where it came from. Because if it was hitting the bud.
I need to
and
find
sent
this
running,
horse.
Yeah. If it was sent running, I can backtrack the tracks.
I'll see the way that they went.
Well, we're on the way, so
I don't like you.
you would probably, you would probably figure that out.
I'm sure I would.
I see you.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
I can't tell you that. Well, actually, I can. Actually,
Squawk, I see
the
you.
pseudo-dragon can magically communicate simple ideas, emotions, and images telepathically with any creature within 100 feet of it that can understand a language. Can you understand a language?
Nope.
Alright, cool.
Oh, it's a talking mushroom, man. You can't understand anything.
Yeah.
So I'll just send coming to you.
That's a little personal.
That's great.
I'm coming on you. Wait, no.
Coming.
Yeah. That's slightly different then.
Wrong word. Oh no.
You need to teach your pseudo dragon better English.
Yeah.
Common.
Simple ideas. On the way, I guess it's pretty simple.
I will sigh deeply and start tracking the horse.
All right.
Slowly.
He can't get 4
Investigation
We
check,
think
please.
it's your virus software. He's just my PUBG inside.
Oh, okay.
Investigation check. And then I'll come back to you buying address.
Cool. Okay. I had the worst roll tonight.
Don't you roll a natural one?
Sorry, my worst roll tonight.
Okay.
Would that be nature or investigation or I'm tracking?
Nature.
I'll try, is it, the additions
Or
are screwing me up.
investigation.
Isn't there like
Either
a...
one.
Yeah, try.
That would mean more nature. Depends on the area.
You can make an argument for either one, but if I'm following tracks, I mean that's.
Yeah, I would say, let's see. You started tracking it the previous evening, and it's been, yeah, I guess a survival check could work.
Okay, well 16 then.
Okay. Yeah, it looks, based on what you can tell, it looks like it came from the east back towards Cathus, the direction that you followed.
Okay, well I'm still tracking it.
Okay. Have you decided on a dress?
Yes.
Say yes to the dress.
Yes, I would like the French lime. That's the color it is in real life, so assuming she understands French
Just
Just
lime.
say green. Or just lime.
Yeah, lime.
Ah, yes, the French peninsula. They have lovely lime green colors. That will be 50 gold.
Holy fuck.
Okay. Also, what information do you have on Clark?
He's the mayor, or lord as he likes to be called, but I don't know him personally.
You should bring this guy with you just so we have to do the voice all the time. Just so we have to do the voice constantly. Don't bring it with you.
Is he
Tell him
a
what you told me.
good lord for the city? Is he good for the city?
Yes, we have prospered for quite a while, and he's not very involved, but that seems to be working fine. Woohoo!
Oh boy.
I was more thinking of like the Pillsbury Cowboy.
I thought
don't
of
think
Mickey.
I need anything else.
Not gonna try to talk
Alright.
her down.
I have 123 gold. I'm fine.
I don't understand the importance of this dress.
I just want a dress.
Use a coupon.
Use a
Groupon.
Groupon.
Ask her if there's a Groupon this
Yeah. Okay. I
We're
guess
finding
I'll-
out stuff about the town, so we buying a dress.
Groupon.
You don't really find it.
Actually, hold on. Would I need to modify the dress to
A
have
metagame.
it fit me?
No.
Okay, so
That's the
just
custom.
fits.
That's the custom one that she's making.
What's
No, he didn't want a
plus
custom
size?
one.
I just wanted to. She
She has a dress for a
I asked him
dragonborn.
like, does this fit?
Yeah, they're humanoid.
Yeah.
Cut a little hole for the tail.
Yeah.
You don't need to, it's a dress.
Yeah.
The drapes over top of it.
Yeah, just constant
After
upskirt.
that,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dave,
Yeah.
take care, and then walk out.
Alright.
You
Alright.
Wear this in combat? That would be cool, you're wearing a dress in
I'm not
combat.
gonna wear it in combat. Oh,
No,
actually, it's unarmored defense. Yeah, I could use it in combat.
Yes, you could.
Don't know if I want to.
It's not armored.
Keep it for special social situations.
For ladies to go to the ball.
Exactly.
I seriously thought you were pulling a snake out of your refrigerator. I was like, what the fuck? What's
Where you
happening?
keep your snakes.
Don't you often eat the snake live from the refrigerator?
Mine prefer like a pull around cooler.
Yeah, well, when it's cold, they move slower.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
God. Ugh.
it's a lot easier.
Trick is getting
Alright,
into
so Isaac is tracking the tracks.
I'm tracking Isaac.
So I kind of figured this would have been a really funny scene since he was like lashed to my back with
Yeah.
the chains. So we could just say we spent the rest of the afternoon trying to get him off my back. And then I've decided this line of my one-liners to compliment women, it's not
Or-
gonna work out. I'm not good at that, so I can't play this character. What I'm going
Oh,
to do,
sure you can. Okay, but I'll.
I
Yeah.
want Sebastian because he's so old to be like a dad character.
Okay.
So I have pulled up so many puns
Yeah.
and
Oh God.
This is
Dad
gonna be the
jokes?
campaign of dad jokes.
I really am gonna murder you.
So excited. I'm so excited.
He's like, I'm so excited.
Dad jokes.
so
No, he's saying whatever.
so after you told me about the horse, all I have to say about that is we try to get you off my back with this woman she watching us is a horse walks into a bar and approaches a horse walks into a tavern and approaches the manager. "Excuse me, good sir," the horse says. "Are you hiring?"
What?
"Are you hiring?"
Is that the joke? Okay. I was like, I'm gonna get it.
The innkeeper looks the horse up and down and says, "Sorry, pal, why don't you try the circus?" The horse snickers and says, "Why would the circus need a bartender?"
Stupid.
And God help me if you haven't gotten off my back by then, because I have 100 more.
Okay, I'm tracking her now.
You need, honey,
I have
the
an
point of
agent.
dad jokes is
Get out of
to
here.
deliver.
Tracking her down.
Say, horses, Hey, did I ever tell you the one about the horse that walked into the... Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
But you're not a dad, so...
That's
maybe one day.
She can be if she wants to.
Oh my
No,
god.
that's my job.
You ever hear the one about the man who was hospitalized with 6 plastic horses inside of him?
Yes.
What's plastic?
Sorry.
Don't bother you then.
There goes that.
I haven't. Go on.
Not there. I like this character much better.
Yeah.
Already. She's having much more fun
So-
already.
Doctor described his condition as stable. Sorry.
Oh my god, you got the giggles now.
So what is the two of you are haphazardly making your way to the stables.
Our characters are gonna get along great now.
What would Rosa like to do?
I'm sitting there, I went back. You know what, I probably beat them back to the... Oh, no, I went
We
back
know
to the
where he
square.
is.
I went back to the square.
I told her, like, hey,
I would be going back.
Yeah, you would all be in the market square at your various establishments.
Oh, so we've
aside
got to
from
be able to
Isaac, of
see
course.
each other?
Yeah.
I'll throw up.
Yeah, I mean, especially in an all-human crowd, some of
I'm
you are
human.
difficult to miss.
I'll say I'm human-ish.
Yeah, he'd be kind of difficult to miss.
Didn't we decide that your wings are like always going, or did we just discuss
Yeah.
that?
Well, I mean, I wanted that. Like, they don't function until.
Right. Yeah.
Well, they function now because I have it, but only when I activate them.
Okay. Yeah.
So that, I was saying they're celestial for now.
Yeah.
But when they work, then they become.
Yeah, they're more of like a,
Oh, he's not.
as I'm trying to imagine now, more of like a glimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a spectral
Yeah.
shape.
And then
But I can disguise self to make sure like it doesn't freak people out. But I won't.
okay.
In the delivery.
Ha!
That's 90% of the joke. You can make people laugh by saying the alphabet if it's in the right context. Yeah,
You need a multi-class in the bard with me.
that's not a thing that's gonna happen.
Then I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, go for it.
Are
Yeah.
you charisma based?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember
Oh
what
my
Misha
god, you
was
guys would be a
doing.
comedy actor.
But you
Misha was
would.
buying a dress, and then after that, we left.
Yeah.
I'm guessing meeting up with us.
Yeah, you all would see Isaac sort of like Sherlock Holmesing.
I'm gonna put on the dress before I meet back at the party.
I'm gonna murder all of you, every single one of you.
You're Sherlock Holmesing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing stuff.
Yeah.
I'm fixing. I want to fix the. By the way, the goggles to a mask that'll cover my.
Okay.
Does the dress
She
give me
is
more
Batman.
charisma? Can it?
No. Maybe in France.
Checks out.
Yeah, so you all wanted to sort of reconnect, or wait, you were heading out to inspect the horse, and then you would have seen Isaac making his way back the way you came, technically.
Can we fight something like soon?
Oh.
Wow, Mr. Impatient.
Yeah. Actually, I wonder if I wouldn't steal the horse.
Is it really stealing?
No.
It wasn't owned by anyone.
Well, I mean,
Well,
not
anymore.
not from the druid. No.
Right.
Not from him. Okay. No.
Well,
I
you
want
would
it.
ask him, is it his horse now? Did he claim it?
It's not.
Yeah.
If there's a Skyrim, it will run back to its own.
Yeah. I'm actually not sure that Isaac would even ride a horse. He might like to feel the dirt under his feet.
Oh. He
So
doesn't
he
wear
doesn't wear
shoes.
shoes.
Oh.
Well, yeah, no, he does wear boots because he wears leather armor. Either way, I'll figure that out later. I'm walking.
He
for
cut the soles out of the boots.
yeah, I'm walking purely because otherwise a loud pace and everyone won't meet up.
Wait, so you have
Although
boots with redheads?
Isaac would like that.
I forgot, I did make this at least a world map. So
Teandra, I like that shape.
Yay!
It's very
yeah,
clean
that is the
mask-like.
continent you're on,
Where we-
Teandra, and you are at Ispin.
Are there other continents? Or-
Yes.
But we gotta get a ship.
What's the name? I can't read it.
Teandra.
Tiandra?
Teandra.
Teandra, okay.
Okay, cool.
Is it a D20?
You got it.
No,
Yeah,
it's a little star.
I thought it was for a second too.
Where?
Yeah, so
No.
Cathis is the capital.
It's right there. Don't you see it?
You would know, just as sort of general knowledge of the world, that is the sort of it's considered like the human capital, and this is the like elven capital on the same continent.
Cool. Well, I'm tracking the horsey. We're reverse tracking the horsey.
Okay. And you all head outside to go see the horsey as well, and see him scuttling off.
His picture would scuttle.
Yeah.
Would he be like scuttling in like a?
Scuttle sideways.
That's how I imagine scuttling.
No.
If he goes sideways, gradually go sideways.
Yeah.
He's not. He's scuttling like a crab. He's just scuttling.
You gotta do like Futurama.
I have no idea.
Zoidberg.
Oh.
No, that's literally what I just did.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
The road, there was that sort of slight path that led from Belmar towards sort of the main gates, around to the main gates of Isman. And as you're going back the way you came from and you see the forest where you had your altercation, you see 2 more ogres and a score of goblins approaching.
How far are we behind them?
Yeah, I mean, Isaac is confident but not stupid.
Yeah. They're still, a mile or more away, but definitely headed in the direction of Isman.
Wait, they're approaching the town?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sort of headed back in the direction of Belmar, and they're coming towards you guys.
Well, lady, do we want to be heroes? Or
How
do we
far are
want
we
to
away
see
from them?
how this town
Yeah,
protects itself?
I mean, do they?
Do we see?
Do they see?
Yeah, you all see this. You're like 60 feet behind or
Okay.
something.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright,
So we caught
Let's
up.
pan it out.
Here's about time.
Let's stand back.
The town seems pretty well fortified, right?
See what happens?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Oh, yeah. Make sure they know there's a threat incoming, so that when we swoop in and save the day, everybody will love us.
That's
Look,
true. We get discounts at stores that way.
Free muffins!
Oh yeah.
Lady, did you purchase any muffins?
I smell muffins.
I don't know what you're
I smell your muffin.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see your muffin.
Zip.
Sebastian has a sweet tooth.
I thought you said Sebastian wasn't good at pickup lines.
So you're just waiting outside as they approach?
Do they look like they have weapons drawn?
Oh yeah, they're armed.
Oh, hey.
I had to say, can we kill something?
They're just thieves, or like,
No, that's what I'm questioning.
they're like
What did they?
I was like, do
are
they
they
look-
humans?
No, they're
They're
goblins.
goblins.
and ogres.
Goblins and okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, goblins and ogres.
Have we seen a goblin or an ogre anywhere in town?
Not in town.
No, it is.
No, it's all humans.
Well, as much as the characters, because you guys are here, it's highly likely that they're tracking us because we pissed them off.
We killed all of them.
We killed one of them, and there might be.
You killed an ogre and 2 goblins.
ogre and
Right,
two
so there's no one left to go, hey, these guys tracked
If
us.
I can follow horse footprints, they can follow ours.
Goblins and ogres can follow their dumb.
They're dumb.
Come on now.
I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure.
You
they're
silly
dumb.
goose.
They're.
If I may interject,
Yes, go ahead.
I would say that we just let them approach and see what the town does.
Right. I agree. Let's go back in the gates.
Strong will survive. I'm fine with this.
Oh, I didn't say I was going in. I just wanted to see what the town has to do.
I'm not about buying those. Are those any good?
These? Yep. Oh, those?
Yeah, makes sense.
So you're all waiting outside, or?
Well, I'm going to scurry up a tree because I know I will not be seen. I'm pretty sure he will not be seen.
I remember I nerfed myself. And he's not a stealthy person.
You look like a tree. A moldy tree, but
All you have to do is really just stop moving.
There was the forest that you passed where you had your altercation, but around Isman itself is just grassland.
So yes, there's no trees to hide.
Outside
no
of
trees.
the gates.
Let's go back inside the gates and see how they handle it.
Okay.
Okay, so you go in and just kind of wait.
Well, I mean, as I passed by the guard at the front door, I said, what's it called? Your deservedness to exist is about to be tested.
I like it.
There's some trouble back there.
Yeah, as one of the guards notices, he's like, and he runs off towards Clark's keep.
Blow the horn. Heroes of Stendhal.
And he comes back with Clark himself.
Okay.
And as the goblin horde approaches, there's easily 20 to 30 goblins, and like I said, the 2 ogres, and they're outfitted the same way, where they have the sort of almost like a balcony on his back.
Yeah.
Kind of Archer's crow's nest type of thing.
Yeah. And Clark kind of goes, and he turns around and takes a deep breath. And he's like,
I have a feeling like they've made a deal with these.
let me handle this. And
Or
he
possible.
walks forward.
Can I insight check what he means by that?
I just
No.
Well, he was talking to himself.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
He walks forward towards the horde of goblins, and the one ogre turns around, and from the
throws a boulder at him.
no, and from the back of the balcony, a rope ladder comes down, and down comes one goblin with a chain around its neck. And then comes down a second goblin, which is wearing like a slightly tattered and dirty tuxedo. And then a third goblin comes down who is wearing a tattered cape, and he has a crown that is broken and sort of stitched together with bits of string and rope. He has goggles going around his forehead, and he has a walking stick with a toad and 2 feathers tied to the top. And he's holding the chain that connects to the one's neck.
He's totally a gentleman class.
and the one that has the chain then opens an umbrella and holds it over the kingly looking goblin to shade him from the sun.
I love it.
And
This is what you should be doing.
So goblins aren't that dumb.
And Clark approaches approaches the 3 of them, and you see the one that's in the tuxedo.
Can we follow behind him?
Let him finish.
Well, yeah, this kind of matters.
You see the one that's in the tuxedo begin sort of, looks like he's talking on the kingly goblin's behalf, and as they're talking, they motion one goblin over, and Mayor Lord Clark turns around and actually sees all of you and sort of motions in your direction and looks at the little goblin, and the goblin looks at you and then seems to point with and then Lord Clark approaches you again and says,
We're just gonna slow down.
they would like to speak with you.
Okay. Anyone else want to go up there and talk with me?
I kind of just want to shoot him
Obviously,
now.
I will go
All
with you.
of you.
Yeah, I kind of just want to shoot him now. How many talents guard you got?
Plenty, but what are you insinuating?
Well, we should probably kill them, right?
Question about goblins in this world.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are they all evil?
yeah. I mean, it's a big world building question. I mean, are goblins inherently evil, or are there a spectrum? I mean,
It's a spectrum. In Cathis itself, especially, there's sort of an amalgam of races that all live together, including goblins and other creatures that would normally be assumed evil.
So my character wouldn't automatically go, I want to kill them.
Does your character want us to
lawful
feel
good,
that way?
probably not.
Well, in Faerun, the world of Faerun, all goblins are evil, so you kill them on sight. If you're lawful good, you kill them. That's the law. But
you
in
know
this
that
world,
you know
is
that
the same?
you know that goblins. There's a mix. There are those that are in raiding bands that do precisely what sort of normal goblins do, but then there's also goblins who live with other races just fine. And you just witnessed the Lord Clark approach and have a discussion.
A fairly civilized goblin.
Yeah, and then come back and say they would like to speak with all of you.
The ones that work at Gringotts.
Alright, sure.
And
I'm gonna take the lead on walking there since I have to.
look wise, imagine Lord Clark as the antagonist from Pocahontas.
Okay.
Except he's dressed in red with gold trim.
That's pretty much what I pictured.
That's pretty close for me too. Actually,
Yeah.
Did they have that crafted, what's it called, the crafted breastplate that's covered around his gut?
Oh, yeah, like I imagine him as just like that huge, just
Barrel chest.
yeah.
I imagined him as the one from Shrek.
Ah, that's not bad.
The guy's name.
Lord Farquaad? Farquaad? I love that name.
So good.
Remember Lord of the Town, it's gonna be Farquaad.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll take lead. I'll take point. Yeah, let's go.
I want to take lead.
I mean, you can walk in front of me, but I'll do all the talking. I'm very
Okay, yeah,
charismatic.
You should talk.
So here.
Unless you want me to, it'll simplify
Oh
things.
yeah,
No,
that
you're in the back with me.
Alright.
Simplify things.
keep you.
You all
far away.
approach them?
Yeah.
Okay. You all approach and
I'll
as...
drop any
Hold on.
disguise self.
I was
gonna say all of us didn't say yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, 2 of us.
I think the consensus is
I
we're
didn't
going
hear
to.
answers from
You just don't have to.
Oh, obviously wherever Rosa goes.
I mean,
It's not being forced.
I mean, he said that they want to speak with all of them.
all of
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go get that. I'm gonna go hop on that horse. I'm gonna ride up.
How far away?
them. Far away.
That horse.
The horse that
You have to like go around
All the way
the
back.
walls.
One
I thought it
second,
was right
goblin
there.
party.
Oh,
we
no.
have to go get the horse.
Yeah.
Give me 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll be
No, I thought it
right
was like
back.
right
No,
there.
no, that's my fault. No,
You forgot
it's
to
like
add-
around the walls.
Oh.
There's, yeah.
All right, the horse is the no-go. Let's all go up. We all go
Okay,
up.
let's
Period.
go.
Stop.
Yeah, we all go up.
Go on. Continue.
As you do, you hear the doors to Isman
I
close
knew it.
behind you.
Yep.
He just sold us out. That's why I wanted to be behind him, because he's fishy as fuck.
And the one in a tuxedo approaches and sort of looks among all of you and says, "Hello,
Hello.
my name is Ott. I am speaking to you on behalf of my master Georgix.
Which one is Georgix?
He is the one who's difficult to miss. He has the crown and everything.
I was clarifying.
It's no problem. And you see him standing there and trying to look very regal, sort of like what a goblin would think, especially since he has a relationship with Lord
Yeah.
Clark. He sort of has this skewed vision of how,
So you're trying to say
ruler
as tall as you possibly can.
yeah,
3 feet
and
tall. Yeah.
but he is,
Back and forth with you.
yeah. But the one that approached you and is speaking, he seems actually taller because he has a more upright position and he holds his hands behind his back.
Okay.
Sounds
So
like my
he's-
kind of man.
Due to what are obviously some unfortunate circumstances, it would appear that your group has been identified as killing 3 of ours, so the transaction of 3 of your heads, either by death or slavery, would be required.
They attacked us.
Do I get to choose?
If he kind of looks back, and he's like 5 to 10 feet away from Georgix, and he sort of whispers, he's like, "This whole thing is more of a formality. Georgix would actually like to probably employ you to do an errand for him, but we have to make this big show of things. So, we've come for your heads. We want 3 of them in return for the ones that we lost, and we will not accept no for an answer."
Are you sure? Because I'll happily give you his and his.
Hers, his, and hers.
Yeah, whatever.
Hers.
But I was to say, I'm a more charisma to bargain up to 4 heads.
Then he's,
I'm starting to not like you now.
well, if
At
that's
least the
what you
feeling's
would
mutual.
prefer, we can take 3 slaves, but
Don't worry about it. What did you want us to do?
Yeah, ignore him.
Yeah, that's probably
It's probably best to just ignore him.
probably for the best. Yeah.
Don't talk to the
I was humoring you for a little while, but
all right.
But yes, you have to understand. They attacked us, and yeah, that's not how that applies. We're not going to just take it.
I understand that.
Yes, exactly. Of course you would.
My lord understands is that 3 of his soldiers are dead, and there must be a price paid for that.
How about this? Your best 3 men versus our best 3 men. We have a duel. Whoever wins.
There's only 3 men in our party.
That's
Men or women?
Yeah, it was
Just men of war.
This is literally what we did 2 days ago.
I appreciate the offer, but we didn't bring all of this just so that we could have a melee between numbers.
I mean, you think all of that will stop us? Have you heard our band of groups name?
Our band of groups.
There you go, making up words again.
Yeah, fucking Shakespeare.
Super pigeons.
Yes. I will cut your head off with a staff. I don't know how. I will figure it out.
He will whittle it down to a very sharp head.
turn the staff into a machete and chop your head off.
At this point, you see some of the goblins that are behind the keenly-looking goblin. They start to come forward with chains, and they have like sacks.
That's not happening.
Well, if that is your desire.
There is no other thing that we can do.
What would you
You're the
like
one,
me to recommend?
So you are the one that marched up to us.
Yes, and and my lord is demanding your lives. If you wish to barter for something else,
I don't barter, but what I will tell you this. I was a member of the military in my country.
Mm-hmm.
The El Cuchillo Oscar. It means the Dark Knight. Special force within the Knights Templar. We had a saying. KTF.
Kill the fuckers.
It means kill them first. So I'm gonna take a shot.
Oh, natural 20!
It's right at the leader.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yes, please.
And
good lord.
I'm so glad that he did it,
Well,
because I was so gonna do it.
Yeah, I was about to say, well, this question into a battle.
I was going to offer him 3 other heads, like Clark.
Oh no, I was definitely going to.
You're
attack.
so lawful good.
I don't know about
No,
you. I don't know about you guys, but I can go invisible.
as soon as they can't, I don't need to be
I'm
invisible.
loyal to
I can
Rosa.
way too
I
much.
can fly above the wall and go inside the castle. I have many ways of getting out.
Yeah, but the point is staying and fighting with your party.
No. I'm saying if all goes south, I have a plan
Nothing's
to
gonna go
back
south.
up. I know it's more of a show of power.
That's a...
Well, hold on. No, I want to do that.
Um,
Let me roll. So
yeah, I used the key point during the last battle. That was the same day.
Can you tell us?
Yeah, but keys.
Just tell me what kind of goblins I'm going to be fighting. So I make sure to apply my penalties if it's a lady goblin.
And do we need a mat?
Okay.
So do we need a battle mat?
No.
Okay.
It's pretty straightforward. You're about 10 feet away from 20 to 30 goblins and 2 ogres.
Kill the leaders and take the rest of them.
Kill the leader.
hold on. Let me take my action
That's
first.
an intimidation check.
I'm not doing intimidate. Well, yeah, kind of.
You
Well, I'm gonna go. I'm going right off.
If
that.
you one-shot their leader, that's pretty intimidating.
Well, okay. So, I hit him with an arrow for.
It's a natural 20.
Yeah, it was a nat 20. So I rolled 2.
Yeah, I need the monster manual, please. I believe.
They want goblin because I just looked them up. Just out of curiosity, I want to see their intelligence.
I think we should try to hire this goblin army.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know. A big dum dum.
Big old dum dum. Da da dum 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 dum. No, nobody wants a donut.
You can have all the donuts.
Okay. I'm gonna take you up on that because I lost the belt notch, so I need to gain that back.
All right. So yeah, you
lost
definitely
I lost the belt
hit.
notch. I'm gonna
Obviously.
Yeah.
So I hit him for 25 points of damage.
All right.
Jesus.
Plate that bitch.
I
You're getting more and more tolerable just by the day. But I was and he would even approve of this.
I would have backed them up. Like I don't know if.
Well, hold on. You
Well,
guys are going
he-
to help me on the intimidation check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he made a surprise attack to everyone.
I mean, I was thinking of doing the exact same thing.
Hold on. If he doesn't die, I still have my action surge.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember what I gave this silly little fucker. Okay, how much damage?
Always remember, KTF.
25.
25? Okay, where the crown was, like I said, it was like tied together to sort of hold it. Your arrow goes straight through it, and the crown sort of falls off its head,
Put the crown on.
and the goblin falls back, and the others look at this. The one, he was holding the chain with the one on his neck, that one immediately starts running away in joy.
You set him free.
Oh, wait, no. Even right after I unleashed that arrow, I cock another one and pointed at that guy.
No. The one that held the chain wasn't the one that we were talking to, right?
No.
Yeah, he was just holding the umbrella over.
Oh, I thought that guy.
Yeah.
No, the umbrella one is like, I'm free!
He was
like,
the slave.
Yeah.
Yeah, let him go. Let Dobby go.
Alright, kill him. Something's moving!
Dobby.
yeah, no, the one who you're talking to is Ott.
Ah, okay.
Ott, yes,
Yeah.
he introduced himself.
He seems like a reasonable gentleman.
Yeah, and he's, and he
Okay,
looks
I know
back
who-
at you with your, arrow at him.
How far away? How far away was the king?
The king was like 10 feet away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, okay. then.
Ott is
I just
right in
I'm
front of
gonna
you.
walk past Ott now. Casually pick up the crown.
Well, was anyone else gonna do anything?
This is the intimidation.
I'll say I'll prepare.
I'll ready my sickle.
I'll prepare guiding bolts. I'll have like my hands crackling with radiant energy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I go for an intimidation on this?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll help. But I will do that by throwing my hood back and laughing maniacally and watching my skin boil and turning my stick into
Yeah. Ott,
glowing green.
just as a quick thing, Ott, outside of looking impressed, doesn't really seem to be reacting. And the goblins and ogres, aside from the one who ran away in freedom, are all sort of waiting to see what happens as well.
I actually think that the guy was a ploy. I think that Odd is the actual leader.
Mhm.
Just throwing that out there.
Maybe, or the second in command just got promoted.
I'll say, or because he wants to be.
It's about time somebody killed him. Now, here's what we really want to do. We want to do agriculture. Agriculture.
What is it?
Potato.
Hummus. Invest in
Oh,
hummus.
All right. So, okay, the intimidation check. I got an 18 on that.
All right, and what do you? And so you pull down the cloak, and you're just kind of taking up the crown, and
I walk back to my place. In
okay,
front of Ott.
yeah,
Do
they.
you put it on, or you just have it in your hand?
I have it in my hand.
Can't be put on.
He's put it in half.
Yeah.
Just dangle it.
Yeah. Yeah, they all watch in silence, and then all sort of look to Ott, waiting for him to say or do something.
So, this is your move now.
So as you can see, Odd.
You have an army of goblins.
You ought to be able to see by now.
You ought to run away.
You want to rethink your process.
I don't suppose you'd like to do an errand for me?
I think your errand should be to turn around and walk away.
Oh, well, if there's money involved or a reward.
The difference is in tone. Are you demanding or are you asking?
Oh, I'm asking. I think there's great opportunity involved, but I also don't want to. I prefer to live to see tomorrow. So if you say no, I honestly have no quarrel with you all.
I'm gonna do an insight check on him.
Okay.
I want to see.
Roll it again. I'll give him the help on that. Roll another one. I'll give you help on that.
Okay. Don't need it. Just want to see like if he is even phased that his leader just got killed, or if it's more of a.
Go through 3 kings a week.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't seem
It's a
so.
There's no modifiers.
Yeah, you also get the sense that when they all sort of looked to him afterwards, that their loyalty was sort of
Waning.
they were following the chief we won because he was the chief, but that they listened to
So you
Ott.
did them a favor. Yeah, I mean, so if there's a reward involved, then I'm sure. I can't speak for the rest of the party, but I like money.
The lady with your family
Well-
fortune dwindling, we should take them up on a job.
Well, what is the job?
Well, there are a number that I have, especially now that things have sort of opened up. There are a number of which items that I'm keenly interested in, but have difficulty acquiring on my own, or even with a sort of less than suitable army of goblins. So,
You might, word of advice, you might get more people to talk to you if you don't have an army of goblins behind you. Just saying.
True, but if he does, somebody might kill him on the road
Yeah.
randomly.
Yeah, just plink.
That's clearly a viable option.
yeah, just a second, and he goes back to the ogre that's still turned around, that had the rope ladder, and he climbs up and comes back down with a piece of paper, and then he sort of turns and he kind of if goblin could sound polite, he sort of gives a polite shoo to everyone gathered, and they all start back off towards the forest.
Carry on.
Yeah.
Well, when he does that, is he turned back at us now?
Yeah, he's coming to talk to you, and he
I'm
has
gonna
a.
toss him. I'm gonna toss him. I guess this is you now.
He's kind of like holding it, like,
Yeah, no.
and he just like drops.
So,
Sweet freak.
does he seem more intelligent than the average goblin?
Oh yeah.
Like what I guess the main question is he using words that he doesn't know, or does he actually seem well educated?
He seems well educated.
I like this guy.
Rosa, ask him if he about Clark. Just what their relationship is.
What can you tell us about Mr. Clark?
Additionally, it would be intrigued to know if we saw any evil dogs running around.
Evil what?
Evil dogs.
Oh.
Or ladies with dull eyes in their head.
You can take this back. Alright, so, oh, Clark. He's a buffoon who's very just sort of interested in himself, but he seems to be doing alright for the people here, so he's of no consequence to me.
Interesting.
It's almost like Clark's trying to.
However.
So are they all watching us? Like everybody from the town watching us?
Well, no, the doors are closed.
They're like peeked over the
so
wall.
there's a couple guards up on the sentries, but that's about it.
So Clark's just kind of like a benign jerk.
He's kind of a dick.
Yeah, he's a pompous, useless person.
We tell him she'd been like, hey, want to sack this bitch? Let's sack this bitch.
No, he's good for the town.
Yeah, look at this stuff.
He's not good for the town. He's just not bad.
Nobody said he's bad for the town.
Nobody else wants to
But
be
just
there.
because he's not good doesn't mean he's not
Nobody
bad.
else has seemed to step up.
No one said you've done anything bad for the town ever, other
He's
than be kind of annoying.
And we actually have heard that the lady said that he has done good for them.
Yeah. No, he's just kind of a dude.
And Ott says that he has had no sign of any dull-eyed dogs running around.
Or evil red dogs.
Oh, yeah, so these quests.
Ah,
or
yes. Well,
whatever you would call them. Missions.
let's see. There was a
Errands.
Errands. Yeah.
he's looking. He has this paper that he opens up in front of him. He has this kind of thing. You can see him sort of crossing things off in his head, like. It's like, well, there are two things primarily that I am myself interested in. At least he looks over former chief. He was sort of more into things just because they were pretty nonsense items. I, however, have interests of a very different kind, of a more magical flavor. So.
You know about the muffins?
Oh. I doubt it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Are you
I have
hungry?
these.
Like
Hey, since we're on pleasant terms, what do you get for a muffin?
Okay, grabs it.
We're just baked.
They're delicious.
We all had one.
Yeah, we had it in town. Holy cow.
All right.
I suggest eating that right
None of you
now.
actually know about the muffins exactly.
I asked, did we know?
Go off.
I said, do we know about the muffins?
Yeah.
I told them all about the muffins.
I was at this moment, I would just go.
Guys, I got these goblins and I found out about those great muffins. Yes.
Choking, can I get my little pop, please?
Yes.
I get the
I thought she was trying to get his attention in
Yeah, me too.
terms.
Yeah. The question is, do we know the Muffin Man?
Oh shit, we
The Muffin Man.
Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man?
Yeah, but that's a muffin woman.
That was a Muffin Man.
Muffin woman.
Yeah.
No.
The legend goes up
Rose is
with
a
Muffin
dude.
Man,
Rose
but
is a
upon
female.
meeting.
I'm talking about the mage.
Yeah, the mage who gave
You're
him.
now the muffin man.
I am not the Muffin Man. I'm a limited Muffin Man. I'm a proxy Muffin Man.
How much did you buy?
She doesn't make muffins. So now she has to.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, so anyway. Says, well, there is a potion that I am interested in, and I have all the ingredients. All I would need you to do is go and have it made. There is also a necklace that interests me, which also happens to be in the same location.
That's good.
The individual who procures all these things that I want, she is she dabbles in magic, so I'm sure she has stores or something that you can take from her if you feel so inclined.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what do you think?
So
What's the reward?
Why are we retrieving baubles for you?
Well, just sort of making the offer. Like I said, I won't be able to do it myself. You all clearly seem very able-bodied.
You have 30 goblins. Why can't you go find a necklace yourself?
Let's just say that my former chief did not make well on relations with this individual.
So, is there a reason you're not murdering her and taking the necklace?
She still has her use. I'd like to keep her alive if I could. That's my decision, at least. What I would personally be able to offer you, let's see. I suppose use of goblins if you ever needed it.
Hold right there. What I would suggest is you take your filthy goblins.
Oh, you're a racist. I'm a racist.
I'm racist against goblins.
They are all filthy, yes.
You've seen them. They are pretty filthy.
Yes.
Did you notice the green cloud walk away as long as with them?
Nothing wrong with filthy.
Like he's bold, man.
No. They're filthy. You are dirty. Big difference.
You call them dirty goblins?
Take them. Track down whoever we are looking for us while we do this errand. So we know time's lost.
You're tracking someone, you say?
Looking for someone.
Celine. She
They
goes
may-
by the name of
They
Celine.
may have passed this way.
Have you ever heard of her? An older woman.
Wait, what?
Light blue dress.
This is the
I've
name
only
I've
done
never heard
business
of.
here in Ispin and in Capus, and I can't say that the name strikes me as familiar.
Yeah, she's from Ispin.
You're from there.
No, she is from Belmar.
What? Are we
Well, we're in
Ispin?
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't know, Goblin. What do you know?
Not Celine.
That is certainly something we could work on. I could also offer more valuable information, possibly.
Anybody else have another idea?
About what?
Where is she?
More about information about what?
Locations in the world, places to go, things to find.
My concern with Celine is more like the doll eyes and
Controlling people.
yeah, because she could always be in disguise, but I'm thinking this is bigger than just one person. So I would ask him for information on cults, doll eyes, whatnot.
You don't even know who she is.
Yeah, I mean, Isaac would be much more intrigued by the evil red dogs and the corruption of nature and all that good stuff.
But look at her cat.
That we know of.
But we don't know what caused
Killing
it.
one does not mean killing
And
one.
remember the were jackals?
Jackalware.
Yeah. Well, and we don't know what caused it. We don't know.
Well, I have the piece of paper about the Jackalware.
Yes.
Does that give me any more information than what we already know?
You were not able to read it.
How do you know?
What languages do you know? Yeah, could be wrong.
Common, Celestial, and Elvish. Alright.
Maybe your
Can anybody else read it?
What are the
Draconic.
languages?
Aquan, Elvish, and Common.
Okay.
Common, and fuck you.
Got it.
I don't know.
No.
There one of her scrolls was written in fuck you.
Actually, no, come to it.
It's common.
Her letter, one of her letters.
Yeah, it's common in whatever the hell languages where I'm from. I'm a foreign traveler
Okay.
background, so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna name it.
I think you pick.
Got it.
Pick you.
Ooh, yeah.
I think you pick whatever
Fuck
he
you.
has. Or whatever he wants.
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
You know Scottish.
Fuck's a very universal word.
It is.
Yes. Except in Irish, they also had feck, which is more like dang or
Yeah.
darn.
Not bad.
Feck.
Yeah, I've heard that before. The
I
goblin
was
trying
gonna
to
say,
say
isn't
us.
that just an accented fuck?
No.
That'll start
That's
going
a whole
to it's
different word.
frack.
Brad.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the old frack.
I'm itching my foot.
Yeah.
Are
So
we calculating how much money we have in our wallets?
no, I was just fixing my wallet and it was
Wow.
all over the place.
Okay,
It was
We'll
bugging me.
trade wallets with Matt.
That's it. Make it rain
Well,
up
you
the
don't want to do it that way.
food.
He's
He's not married.
Isn't it great?
I'm sorry, we got a little off there and I got lost.
Yeah, I want to know what the goblin's going to give
roll
us to
switch
do
just happened.
these.
He can
Are
offer
you
his,
paying him to?
he can offer his
No, he pulled out his money.
he
so
can
I was
offer
curious
his
if we were just-
he can offer his hoard if you need it. He says that he has valuable information about the land. He has connections with places and people in Cathis.
And,
I'm not really interested in this. Are you?
I mean, he couldn't care less about money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
He doesn't offer money.
that's what I want.
I mean,
I have all 20s in one dollar.
I mean, even information is just, you know, he's intrigued by, intrigued by the evil red dogs and what's going on with that.
Does he know anything about the evil red dogs?
When it was brought up, he
No, I think he has no idea.
Yeah, well, I could be persuaded. I could be persuaded to help you in exchange for you finding out more about this.
All right. Well, a good place to start, I guess, would be, what do you know about the evil red dogs?
We killed them.
Yeah, tell me we know.
All right. Yeah.
He tells him everything he remembers.
Interesting. Because you would tell about how it was sort of malformed, like a mutation. It wasn't just like a natural thing. He's like, interestingly, where I want to send you is to an individual named Blekalob. And she...
What's that name again?
Blekalob? Why do you want me to spell that for you? Blekalob.
What race is this woman?
Probably goblin also.
Human.
Does everyone on this accursed country have the stupidest name ever?
It's Blech.
That was close.
ELOBBE.
Just like it sounds, clearly.
Every
No, not
new
at all.
person I meet has a stupider name.
Yeah.
Where are we gonna go from here?
Black Lobe.
Well, she is sort of mutated herself.
Intrigued.
And has been, to my understanding at least, been trying to study or figure out the sources and causes of the mutation, any ways to reverse it, etc., etc.
Fine.
I just realized your shirt is German, Brian Batman.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. I am
No, it's
Batman.
more like a cat.
Alright, guys, hang on. Child has asked me like 10 times if he can come down and get a donut. Come get a donut!
Yeah. Do you mind if we take a short break here?
Sure.
It's 7:45.
Can I just mute? No, just don't stop.
Okay. How do I mute?
Just hit the.
I mean, I don't care about muting it unless someone's gonna reveal some
I don't know.
information.
Credit card numbers.
But don't stop because I didn't split it into two.
Okay, social security number is.
Credit card number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
It's paused right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually not.
Or muted. It's
But we're
muted.
No, it's actually
we're on a
not.
break.
Oh, okay, we're on break.
Break.
But yes, we are still recording.
He can mute it.
Yeah.
I do plan to have a scene where we're on break.
It's not actually live on Twitch, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's just record. Well, I mean, it will be live on YouTube.
Eventually.
And
It's not
Twitch.
live on It's not live.
I said it will be.
Eventually.
Hello.
So as we're returning, so you're outside discussing all this with Auden amongst yourselves, and suddenly one of the doors of the town comes open, and Clark comes out.
Of course he does.
And what is going on out here?
We're having a meeting.
Where's... And then he sort of sees that Jorgix's dead body.
Did they just leave him there?
What?
They didn't pick up his body and take it with
No,
them?
they don't
They just
care
left
about
it there? Yeah. Alright, cool.
He's inside the road later.
Really quick, I'm sorry.
They took the cape, the tattered cape that he had.
Could you describe? Okay, so the doors of the town open like thusly.
Outward.
So into the town.
Out of the town.
Out of the town.
They open outward. Okay,
Yeah.
so one of the doors cracked open, wide enough for him to walk out.
Yeah.
And okay, great.
Did they leave it open?
Yeah. Cool. I'm gonna walk up to the door and push it shut and say so.
Can you push it shut?
If no one's pushing it yet.
Yeah, sure.
If nothing else, I'll stand there. Okay. So we handled the situation fairly deeply, but it does seem highly possible to me that you more or less sold us out.
Well, I guess so. I mean, the goblins had business with you. The goblins and I have an agreement. I stay out of their way, they stay out of ours. They wanted you.
Understandable.
That's pretty fair, actually.
I might not see it that way, but
Well, I mean, yeah, you can go for it.
They'll ponder it for a second.
So then he turns to Ott and has a brief thing of like, are you in charge now? Like, do I defer to you about these things? And Ott sort of confirms, and he's like, all right, well, if that's all good, then I will head back. I have business to attend to, and he goes to go back.
Okay.
All right.
I'll stop him and stare at him with my evil frog eyes.
Blink out a few times.
Blink out a few times. Yeah, deal with it. Let's go. If your weakness puts me in jeopardy again, I'll tear your head from your body.
Yes. And then he goes back.
He's not joking.
Yeah. Your mustache.
It seems to be more of just his attitude of like, you'll have to get to me
No, I know.
first. Yeah.
I'm lower.
That's a really good looking toenail. He's a good man.
That's awesome. Can't believe you remember that joke.
So as far as so what does he do? He goes back to...
Yeah, he went back inside.
Okay.
The door is left open though.
Excellent.
And the other door is opened as well.
So this quest, Blunderbuckle, or whatever her name was.
Yes.
He's like
You remember her name?
No. I remember it was stupid.
Blackalot.
Blackalot.
I'm gonna head over to Goblin Chorus and mushroom it.
Good.
What I do?
Yeah.
Okay.
The quest is intriguing. What do you guys think?
Yep.
Push me further to my objective, I'll do it.
I'm sure my lady will agree.
Once she gets better.
We were sent to the dog thing by
Seraphina.
Seraphina,
Yeah,
so
from Dominic.
this is technically finishing out the first quest. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean it is in line with
the
what we
initial
were doing
quest.
already.
Yeah.
And the town was attacked by multiple of the Jackalwares.
Yeah, one.
So I
I
mean,
believe one Jackaware, 2 Cliffords.
No, all Jackalwares.
Oh, there. The dogs are Jackaware though.
I wasn't here for this.
no.
It was all.
Clifford was the one we fought out in the forest.
Yeah.
They're not the same as the Jackalware.
Oh, so we're not doing the Clifford thing. We're doing the Jackaware thing.
No,
we are doing
the Clifford.
We have a lot of mysteries on our hands.
Yeah, he wants to find out how that became a being.
How Clifford
Okay,
became a
yes.
thing, and it's clearly mutated. This lady's mutated, studying mutation. So I'm gonna go
Okay.
talk to her.
Yeah. Okay.
Ah, yes, then we have an agreement.
Yeah.
Where are we on the map? Oh, okay.
But yes, you did fully take care of the
Cliffords.
Jackalware. Yeah, the Cliffords. Yeah.
Okay.
And I wasn't there for Jackal Wares. But I'm with that.
Yes, that's the one who wasn't here.
Oh shit. Okay.
When we pulled this.
That's right. Yeah,
person's face.
that's right. They went to.
Was that the cave? Yeah.
Yeah, there was a cave along the beach near Belmar where there was 2 jackal wares, which are just basically what they sound like. 2 jackal wares feasting on another body, and when the jackal wares were defeated, they sort of reformed into the body of the young boy whose body had been dug up, and then the woman who was being buried when you entered the town.
Oh, this is
Sound like werewolf
this is
dogs.
pertinent information.
I mean, there are videos that you can go watch.
No, I mean, but like, I asked what happened, and like, none of you know. All
To
right.
be fair, we didn't. I'm pretty sure I recall us saying like, "Well, explain it in game if it happens," and it never happened.
Yes, and then
We were like,
and
"We'll wait
then
for it in game." Roll for it. We never did.
right. Kendra was killed, and she was the one who was like Celine's helper, and she had the eye in her head.
We still have
Yeah, so there was the jackalware thing.
Okay, fair enough. Well, let's go talk to the human mutated.
I thought you were trying to show Nate.
Yeah, look at my hand as I'm holding something that you can't see. My hand's obscuring it.
Yeah.
They took it over. They're like, what is it?
So I guess, well, whereabouts is she?
Yeah.
Alright, well, you have to head into the,
Ruby Woods.
Nope.
That's what Cliff.
You have to go to the Skitterbog.
Skitterbog.
The
That doesn't sound too
Skitterbog.
bad.
It sounds delicious.
She lives beneath a large tree in the center of the Skitterbog.
Sounds exactly where a mutated person would sound, would live.
It would sound, yes.
And live.
And she's easy to bargain with. She won't accept money. She's more interested in items, components, that sort of thing. But to sort of gain you favor or entry, we could brand one of your arms with the symbol of our clan.
No, I'll pass on that.
Can we take your dead? Can we take your dead king?
Oh, there you go.
He's been mushroomed.
He's got the. Well, that's
Oh,
fine.
yeah, he can't do anything.
It's covered in shrimp.
He's decaying. He's
It's
at
covered in
decaying.
spores.
Yes, he's been mushroomed, and the pigeons are starting to
feeding
feed
you.
on
Wait,
him.
wait, I'm gonna go.
You now control pigeons!
I'll be right back.
I'm gonna go over and
Just
can I
make
find
him
the
poison
symbol
himself.
on the king's, the old chieftain's body.
He has
Cut it out.
yeah, he has a brand in his arm. They all do. You assume that Ott probably does as well, but he has long sleeves.
Yeah, so I'll just use a dagger and cut out that.
Okay.
Like, okay, I got the symbol.
It looks
Tell his whole arm.
it looks like an S with a dagger horizontally through it.
Isn't that similar to the symbol we saw before?
It was an S, but not with a dagger.
All that be fair, all that proves is that we murdered a goblin. That's all
What?
that proves.
What color is it? What color is the goblin skin?
It's like greenish.
That
It's like
is
a red.
racist.
Hold on.
This
What color is
brand,
it? It's greenish.
it is-
What?
It's greenish with like a red.
Would it match to his arm?
No.
I'm not green.
So-
I have disguised self. I can make myself green.
I'm ghost white.
Yeah, disguise self. Does anyone else? You can disguise. Yeah.
I can do
Question.
Yeah.
Right?
This
right
brand
next to
this
color.
is just for
Okay,
your
good.
goblin
Color, not race.
clan.
Well, I feel she actually.
Everybody in your clan has this brand.
Oh yes.
I walk back over. Will this work?
Um,
I pin it to my shirt.
How would the brand have
it's
to
hard for me to say. That's really, I guess, up for her to decide.
Ah, yes.
be? Where would this brand have to be? Just on the arm?
Yes, it's all, and he rolls up his sleeve, and it's on the inside of his arm.
And it's just a brand, like a hot, like.
Yep.
I'm not getting branded.
Right.
You are not getting branded.
I ain't getting branded.
I would address my arms reveal. I'm
I'll
not
do it.
doing it.
All right. And
Can you get us in where we need to go?
What?
Can you get us in where we need to go?
No. This one place, and then you're branded with a goblin brand for the rest of your life.
I'll cut it off.
You cut your arm off?
No.
I
I'll cut the skin off.
I can remove it.
Yeah, but,
Boy.
healing is not hard to come by.
I can remove it.
Yeah.
Well, I can heal it once you cut it off.
Okay, well, Sebastian's pissed at you.
Yeah, grr. Put her in her place.
Him.
Put him in her place.
Close enough. Close enough.
It's good. Yeah. Did you just assume her gender?
I cannot put Sebastian in my wife's place. That's not a thing I want to do.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't.
This is very confusing for a relationship.
Well, yeah, you would have to go see the smithy then to go get like the symbol made. Yeah, either that or go back to the goblin's den to have it done.
I can create flame if he has the symbol.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't have it.
Nobody has an illusion they can cast for us.
What
It'll be inspected.
does anyone have a disguise kit?
Did anyone loot the king?
I thought they took it.
Well, that's what
They took the
they took
his
just the
his
cape.
cape. Yeah.
I would have. Well, while I was cutting, I would have checked if there was anything on him because I literally cutting his skin off.
He had a pouch of bugs that was slung around his shoulder. Some are still alive, some are dead.
Why would you assume I want the bugs?
You want them.
Um,
You know you want
I
them.
don't want
Take
the
the
bugs.
bugs.
I envy anyone who's never met you.
he did have a rapier. The umbrella was left behind by the goblin who ran away,
I'm gonna hand it to Sebastian.
and his walking stick was still there.
Yeah, stick the walking stick there.
I'll worry. I don't want the bugs.
I can disguise myself as an old
The walking stick that's like this big.
Well, no, it was bigger than the goblin.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah.
it's a full size walking stick.
So it's a cane for you.
Yeah.
And it has
That's perfect.
a toad and 2 feathers tied to the top.
Okay.
Weird cane, but
Do you know how to sacrifice?
Huh?
It has a what and two feathers?
A toad and
drop the
2
bugs.
feathers.
Take them and drop them.
They're nature. You don't like the bugs?
I don't care. I don't care for bugs. He doesn't give a shit.
Oh. Oh, okay. Well, then just I'm gonna dump out the bugs and see if there's anything inside it.
There are no bugs on fuck you.
It's like, why do I?
It's a nation of those incense candles that you burn to keep mosquitoes away.
Except you burn bugs.
Yeah.
You know what else is natural? Perfect. I
You sure that's not what you have?
Yeah, so then,
we actually haven't talked. I don't know.
but then, yeah, you would head back into the town toward the smithy.
Yeah.
It's getting into like 4, 5, 6 in the evening.
I guess he gets branded.
Yep, easy enough.
I mean, it's as easy as Brandon can be.
Yeah, Tom, the smithy, is
Fucking Tom.
able to easily enough make the symbol, or like a sort of
How
crude.
messed up is that all the humans have weird ass names and we meet a goblin named Tom?
No, Tom's the black.
No.
Tom is the black.
Ott is the goblin. To the
Yeah.
Yeah, Ott is the goblin.
It's still hot.
Ott.
Sounds like a
I
goblin
actually
name.
worked with somebody named
Well,
Ott.
and that's
Oh,
because he
right.
doesn't.
It's his last name.
Ott is short for his actual goblin name.
Which is Otto.
It's Otto Yeep.
Otto Yeep.
Otto Yeep.
Every new name I learned is stupid than the last one.
Alright, so now what? Now we go to Skitter Frog?
Skitter
You
Bog.
gotta get your net.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you go
Oh, it's not
to.
that far.
You get your net.
Yeah, you go to get
We'll
your.
meet
I
up.
got my net. The end.
She hands them to you, takes your 5 copper, and sends you on your way.
Oh, another horse joke. Another horse
Nice
Now-
net.
How do you keep it from like netting itself?
Netting itself.
She's proficient with it, okay? It just happens.
Caught on
Yeah.
itself.
Like it would tangle so
So
easily.
bad.
It would tangle for you, but not for her.
So
She's actually proficient with the net.
I'm
So,
proficient at untangling nets.
Yes.
But
Um,
she goes and tries to clutch it. You get just a tight bunch
Yeah.
of ball of yarn.
She goes to throw it, it's
Yeah.
all like
no, you gotta throw it, it goes like
How
that.
big
She
is
pulls it out, it
And what-
deploys like a parachute.
Because I'm thinking like if you had the
And what
staff,
will
you could put the staff down and then roll the net up.
And what it adds is, because it has to be interlaced with the hooks, it has like 2 more toughness, so it's a DC 12 strength to break, and it does 1d4 damage.
Nice. You have a damaging net.
I mean I could see
2
if
damaging
she
nets.
well no, she just had 1.
No, she bought 'em both.
2? Oh nice.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Makes sense.
How to add
I
that
can
real
do
quick?
that, yes.
We'll go
Okay,
to my
and then after that, I want to go to see the magic shop. If he told us about the magic shop.
Well, I mean, it's easy to find.
Yeah.
No one else is going there.
Yeah.
It's called the Mage's Hand.
Is he still doing the prestidigitation thing?
No, he's
He's
inside.
counting all his fortunes.
He's inside counting his gold and crying.
Oh god,
joy.
he's so
Yes.
happy.
He's made more gold in one day than he has in 15 years.
Yeah.
You have 2 nets.
So I'll go there. Anybody else coming?
I'll
She wants
go.
Alright.
I don't think Isaac will enjoy it, but he doesn't know that yet.
Have some free stuff.
So
Some failed.
you walk in and you see he has a blue long sleeve shirt and matching pants with a gold buckled belt around his waist, and his long brown hair is tied into a ponytail. And he sees you come in, and he comes around the counter and goes up to shake both of your hands, and he's like, "That's fine." He's like, "My name is Linnaeus. How can I help you?"
Ah, yes, I am Tikriel. I was told by a colleague of mine that you sell magic goods.
Ah, yes, yeah.
The only other customer I'm sure you've had today.
You don't know that.
Yes.
He would have told us.
Yes.
But you know, I understand. It's a hard life.
Yes, yes. So, what are you looking for? What can I help you with?
I'm looking for a bag that can fit a lot of things in it. Like an interdimensional bag. I think they call it a haversack. Holding. There's like a bag of holding, but then there's like a little smaller haversack of holding.
Right.
It's like a beginner's bag.
Well, you see, like, he has the box of failures on the main.
Is that what it's
counter.
called? The box of failures?
The box of fails, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you have
Fail box.
Do you have it? Could you pull something out of the box of successes, or do you not have one?
I'll say, yeah, I don't know if I've worked on it.
He motions to the counter, which has some.
Question about
some
the.
muffins.
Sorry to interrupt. The question about the net. Is it? You said the damage is 1d4.
Yes.
I'm assuming plus proficiency.
No,
Proficiency is never added to damage.
It's to throw, sure.
To
That's
hit.
a hit.
not to
Yeah.
damage.
But the
No,
hit,
it's- You don't.
Yeah, 1d4. Yeah, for
You mean
to
dex-
hit. Yeah.
You mean
Oh, it's a hit.
dexterity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proficiency.
I said attack.
Yeah.
But you said 1d4 and that's
Damage.
damage.
Yeah.
It-
We talked about damage.
On the counter, he has 9 more muffins. There's a couple scrolls wrapped up and tied neatly, and a few potions which look familiar. They're potions of healing.
I don't have any of those.
That's that.
Potions of
Healing.
healing.
Yeah.
I thought you said feeling.
Health potions.
Yeah.
No, they're muffins of healing.
Heal things.
I'm gonna ask him if the muffins ever go bad.
They're after I bake them, they're only good for 3 days.
Oh shit.
How old are these?
I'll buy
Bake them today.
3 days.
I'm gonna buy a potion of healing or two. How much?
50 gold each.
50 gold for a potion of healing.
That's what it
They're
said.
pretty cheap.
Is it?
They're normally 150.
What?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I started with one and it was
I-
over 100.
I gave myself
Okay.
a.
Either way, well, I might buy
The
one.
book says it's 50, I thought. The book
Yeah,
in 4th edition says
He just said it's 50.
They just said 50.
Oh, it's 50.
More than expected.
I'm
That's fine.
pretty sure they were 150. But
Cool. Listen, do you have anything that? Do you have anything that will help me murder things faster?
I don't know. Plus, you're going 50 gold.
Okay, fair enough.
That will help you murder things faster. Okay, as he's digging, he starts digging through his box of fails, and for your inquiry, he pulls out basically like a dice bag, and is like, "I have managed to do something this size. If you're interested."
And what does that do exactly?
Well, it's he like sticks his finger in and then 2 fingers, and it just kind of keeps going. He's like, it's the same thing as like a bag of holding,
Goes
but
up to his elbow.
a tiny pouch.
You fit small things.
How
in
much?
10 gold.
Alright, what else you got?
But yeah.
Well, we get package deals. What
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
do.
that's it. Anything for murderers?
I have.
Put that on the side. Yeah.
Ah, I have this, and he pulls out a dagger, and it looks pretty plain, except that it has a blue gem at the bottom of the handle.
Does it do anything besides bring out my eyes?
Yes. You automatically. Well, I don't know how he would.
Yeah. It would, yeah.
He explains it as a reliable knife. If you roll a 1, you automatically re-roll the to attack.
Pass.
It's a lucky knife.
It's a reliable knife.
It's a reliable knife, slightly different.
Yeah.
It's lucky enough to grab it, but no, I
How
never.
much for that?
10 gold.
Wow.
Get a potion of healing, because I don't trust you.
What do you mean?
You get
To heal him.
Oh, you're gonna buy a potion.
Yeah.
I don't need one.
Is it all?
I put the damage as the net as piercing because they're hooks.
So how about the
See a
potion?
hook
No, because they're gonna
piercing.
pierce
The
the
potion,
Hooks.
the sack, and the dagger.
It's gonna drag.
Let's make it
Well,
60
they're not really
gold.
gonna drag, they're gonna catch.
Okay, so
piercing is like.
you're buying a potion as well?
No, I'm bartering in with his potion. So
Oh,
he's gonna pay for
okay.
this potion, but I'm bartering in everything else. Trying to do like a package deal for the 3 items. Trying to get a 10 gold this time.
It doesn't matter, that's bludgeoning anyway.
62
It could pierce somebody in
gold.
their eye, but we're going to assume it's.
Roll a
it's
22 on
somebody
persuasion.
62 gold.
Yeah, stinging isn't a type of attack.
Yeah.
61. Make me feel like I've won.
I'd help with persuasion.
You got it.
But mine's a -1.
All right, so 50 gold for your potion of healing.
Yeah, and he throws in one muffin.
I was gonna ask.
One fluffy muffin.
Can I sell that?
Goes bad in 3 days.
Can I sell that extra rapier?
Well, it loses its magical essence in 3 days, but you can still eat it if you had
I feel
to.
like stay
Am I just gonna call it Lucky Dagger?
Reliable. Reliable. It's so reliable.
It's good?
Actually, it's really good, but the problem is it's.
Oh yeah, and it's +1, I forgot.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
That's handy.
That's pretty good for 10 gold.
Yeah.
You got much better.
You can get 5 of those for 1 healing potion. That's great.
What, the dagger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The +1 dagger.
Oh, okay.
Antidote that thing.
Good.
If I had any use for daggers, I would pick it up, but I do not. So.
See if he has a bow. I didn't ask him about a bow.
I mean, this was the only thing that he
Does he have
said
a
that
bow?
helped kill stuff. Yeah.
Huh? No.
Okay.
Sod off!
I'm just
Stop making up
medicating.
words again.
He's like, are you interested in selling anything?
Now I have
Yes.
gold to buy stuff.
You know, I actually don't have anything. Like, there's nothing.
Yes.
I don't
Yes, I have
remember.
this healing potion.
He's
We haven't found anything.
he's like, you have.
We picked up some stuff.
He's like, I'm picking up a couple things.
Stuff from the goblins and arrows and leather armor and shit.
We picked up different types of
I mean,
swords.
I don't.
Yeah,
Knives
that
and
extra
chains.
rapier that I got.
Yeah, because you were gonna. I think the original idea was to put the swords under this.
Okay, well,
Did I have like
I mean, he's more. I don't know. More. I think.
Oh, I know why. It's on the laptop.
Yeah, I think. the
I
blacksmith is
would
more-
be willing to.
Huh?
That's really good.
Yeah, but it's
Okay,
got sugar.
DM's talking.
I would be willing to help you identify some things if you paid me to.
Do we have anything?
Wait.
Dolly.
Yeah, I mean, detect magic has been out for a while.
Well, it's only 10 minutes.
I know, but I've been next to all of you. If we had anything magical, I would have sensed something magical.
Did he sense anything magical? Or
Well, you were out by the farm when you used
Well,
it.
Yeah, but we got we after we saw him, then he casted it. Then we met up with him.
And I'm standing next to I walked back and cast it again.
Well, yeah, you would have then felt something then, yes.
That sexual feeling?
What do we have that's magical?
Of the stuff that you took from Celine's chest, there was the locket from
Kendra?
no,
The boy.
The boy.
no,
right?
the locket was for Olka,
Olka.
and there was the scabbard and the collar. The
That's the
scabbard,
scabbard I
the
wanted.
scabbard and the collar have an essence to them.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to know the scabbard. Well, so I guess I probably have that. I'm looking at my character now.
I don't have identify. So.
But yeah, I'll ask him to identify these. How much to identify these?
5 gold each, and I'm detecting something from that. Oh, wait, never mind.
You didn't detect.
Is he detecting something from one?
No, it's you don't have it. Cause that was my flub.
Am I in there?
But I mean, did any of them have it? Because again, I was standing right next to them.
Are we all? Are we
They
all
didn't
back
have it at
there?
the time.
Okay.
I will trade him that rapier and some for information and some muffins.
Oh, you're there too?
Yeah.
Okay, well then he says that the stick has an essence to it as well.
Oh, the walking.
It's a leadership stick.
So 5 gold each to identify.
Oh, I was saying, can I just give him this extra rapier plus 4 information and muffins?
How much does rapier sell for? You might be able to cover our funds with that.
Never
I
mind.
don't think that's 5 gold.
Plus it's gonna be less.
She
because-
doesn't know that.
What information are you seeking?
Oh, me? Just about the magical items.
The rapier is 25 gold.
Yeah.
25 gold.
Sell for-
What does it sell for though to him? Like, how much, what does he value it at?
He would identify. How does this work?
2 things? It's normally like
He has no need for a rapier.
Well,
Yeah,
does he want a
right,
rapier?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't want a rapier.
Okay.
Yeah, the bike's a lot.
Okay.
Alright, so for the 4 items that we have, let's do 15 gold for a package deal.
4 items?
We have the staff,
Mm-hmm.
the scabbard, the locket.
The locket doesn't have an essence. It was just with what you took.
Gotcha.
So I was,
So the 3 items
yes.
for 12.
Are we all there?
I thought it was just these 2.
15.
So
We're all
I guess
here.
we're all there.
Yeah. So yeah.
We're all here.
What about this eye?
Just looks like a weird little doll's eye.
You don't feel anything from this?
I feel strange right now, but that's about it. Uncomfortable,
you should try
perhaps.
carrying it.
No, thank you.
It's weird.
Okay. That was definitely worth the 5 gold.
Don't mix the eye up with your muffins.
Yeah.
Give me nightmares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want anything crawling up in there.
What do you mean? Don't eat the doll's eye? Yeah, I wasn't gonna do that.
But he tells you that the muffins, of which there are 8 left, are 3 silver each.
And I let you know because you didn't ask this question. The muffins only last for 3 days.
I told him.
He told me.
Oh, did you?
Oh, well,
Apparently he's here.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Cool. So what are the things?
Okay, I do have stuff. Yeah, sorry. So I give him. I'll pay for this. I'll give him the 12 gold.
The stick is a staff of disguise self
Wow.
with 4 charges.
Oh, nice. Is it rechargeable?
Hmm?
Rechargeable?
Yeah,
Does it get
every
charged
day.
back every-
You roll a d6 or a d4. Sorry.
I mean, is it a quarter step?
It's just a.
A walking stick.
Well, that's the thing.
If it's a quarter staff, he could use it for, like, as his weapon.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, if it's a walking stick, it's a walking stick. If it's a quarter step, it's a quarter step.
It's more of like a walking stick.
Okay.
And then there is the.
Well, you catch the Lily ended anyway, so.
No, I know, but
Oh, that's true. Can you turn anything into
And
a
then-
I think as long as it's.
it's a big club or is it something?
Would this be considered like an
Can
improvised
you
club?
shillelagh it? It turns it into a staff.
It needs to be a quarter staff for polar mastery, so I wouldn't want to.
And then these
Oh,
are
right,
the other
points.
2.
And what's the other thing?
I thought he was gonna read it out loud.
Yeah. Okay, so the scabbard, vital scabbard, requires attunement. The scabbard is like the thing for the weapon, like to sheath the sword,
Yeah,
right?
the sheet.
Or is that or a scabbard isn't like thing?
It's scabbard is what you shoot.
That's a tabard.
No. There's like a
Scrotum?
Bandolier?
a brooch.
Oh.
I was thinking it might have been like a brooch.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the scabbard, the wearer gains their constitution score as temporary hit points after a long rest. That seems busted.
How long do temporary hit points last?
Yeah,
Until
I mean-
they diminish?
Well, temporary hit point, the standard rule for it is until you take a short or long rest. I'm pretty
25,
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
Well, I mean, it's an additional 2 or 3 hit points.
Yeah.
No. It's your constitution score, not your modifiers.
Wait, what?
Or
Is that
What?
a typo? You put
That's
score.
yeah, that's broke as fuck. Yeah.
Modifier then.
Yeah, modifier.
Okay, that's what I said. I'm like, that's
Oh.
I'll take this.
I will kill all of you.
Yeah, no,
I'm
it's
like,
supposed to be modifier.
I get 14 extra hit points. As temporary
Yeah,
hit
no,
points?
my fault. That was supposed to be modifier.
That's almost doubling in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then the Renaissance.
Renaissance collar. I think I forgot, missed the end.
You forgot the end. I'm like Renaissance.
And my laptop, the end screws up sometimes.
The collar contains 6 charges. Expending a charge allows the wearer to add a +1 to any ability check, save, or attack roll, and it regains charges at a long rest. 1d4 +1.
That's cool.
Yeah, both of these are pretty sweet.
Fine.
So,
I
That's
does scabbard do anything other than
you give you 2 more hit points.
what sword is the scabbard for?
I'm guessing it's
It's
a
magic,
standard magic
so
item, so it'll go whatever. Like I can put my dagger in there and it'll
Yeah.
conform to it.
That's itself, yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, I have my own temporary hit point pool, so and they don't stack. So
I just don't get
You
it.
could probably use it, right?
I mean,
What's your constitution
Yeah.
modifier?
or
Oh, 0.
Yeah, so
Well,
So no.
no, him, her.
Her scabbard would be called gloves.
What? No, that's fine. You don't have to have
You
a
don't
sword.
actually have to have a
a
weapon,
scabbard.
Oh, well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Well, hold on. She wears a. Don't she use a rapier?
She doesn't
I
have a
do.
rapier, yeah.
Yeah, that's-
Yeah,
you have
But
a
she's
sword.
trying to sell it.
A rapier.
No,
No,
I
she
have
has a
two
spare
now.
one.
I have mine.
I don't think
and the
rapiers
spare.
technically have a scabbard, but fuck it.
Well, they often do.
Really?
Yeah.
A rapier?
But particularly if you're a lord or a noble, the sword and the scabbard was actually a status symbol.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, yeah, like cavalry and yeah.
Yeah, if you're, I mean,
Yeah.
my Constitution score is 2. But if you could use it more,
I mean, I get the most use out
I'm
of
more range.
Actually, I think close.
Yeah, I get the most use out of my country 2 has a +4, but
Oh, yeah.
it doesn't stack with my.
No, it would override.
Yeah.
Hers would be
Yours
+2 as
override.
well. Yours is 14?
Yeah. What's your hit points?
32.
Yeah, no, it's
26.
Yeah, no,
But
yeah.
she's front line.
When she's front line, she's the clear
Oh,
first.
that's true. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the clear
There you
first.
go.
It's my scabbard.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do anything for the weapon?
No.
It's just healing?
And that healing
Gives
is
you 10 points.
It's temporary
That's
hit points.
balling.
more.
It's pretty good.
It's so weird though.
Yeah, hit points.
I love 10.
It's weird.
And then this Renaissance collar. It's not Renaissance.
You're not pronouncing it the right
That's
way.
fine.
No.
That's how it's. No, I'm saying I refuse to call it
Renaissance.
Renaissance.
It's Renaissance.
That's fine.
I mean,
Ray collar. I mean, I like it. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's
It's good for everyone.
pretty
What is-
ubiquitous. Any of us.
I didn't
can
hear
do
what
it.
you said.
Alright, so it contains 6 charges. It's a collar. It does not require attunement, which is pretty big.
What is,
Um,
what is it to?
Attunement, you can only have 3. Well, it depends on how he does it, but you have a limited number of items you can attune to at once.
Yes.
So, like, it kind of prevents from being broken. Like, if you have
It's
too
kind of
many
like
items.
concentration, but for magic items.
Kind of, only it's possible to break. So you spend some time focusing yourself on the weapon and you bond with it.
Yeah, you bond with it. And you can only be bonded
Does
to
that
so
mean?
many
Does that mean
items.
attunement?
Yes.
Okay, so you can.
What about the
attune-
staff?
Oh, do you have the staff card or
No.
no? Oh, you probably didn't expect us to kill him.
Nope.
That makes sense.
KT,
That's fine though. I mean, I give
Oh,
myself as many options as possible because I'm like, how much stress can I use to make something that they're then going to completely avoid? But I like seeing how it happens. Like, I thought that was fucking awesome.
I mean, if he didn't do it, I was about 1 turn away from doing it.
But I rolled a 20. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right.
I was gonna guiding bolt him with
Yeah.
it.
No, that was great. I'm all about it.
Yeah, I mean,
But as far as the collar, anyway, so if you have the collar, it contains 6 charges. Expending a charge allows the wearer to add +1 to any ability check, save, or attack roll. I mean, it's good for everyone,
Keep
literally
it.
everyone.
No. Keep it. I'm not going to take it because I have superiority dice, so I'm good there.
Yeah, I don't know if I have lucky on this character. Oh,
You
no,
will.
that's next level.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't a human. I was gonna beat.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly wouldn't mind it, but I'm not
Go
gonna.
for it.
Want to roll for it?
Well, do you really need it?
What's wrong?
I don't have any other source of adding to my attack, and I do a lot of damage, so extra hit would be nice.
You want to roll for it?
No. Yeah, roll for it. Yeah.
High or low?
What are you rolling?
A D20.
Okay.
You want to go high or low?
I'll go high because I'm a winner.
6.
3. Not today. Fair enough.
Alright.
He was like, you should have seen his face. This went like this.
I'm like
6.
Shit.
Well, I lost. Well, never
You
mind.
beat him by 100%.
Yeah.
The aura.
Now I just wonder what that first roll would have been.
Oh, the one where it almost fell off.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that was fine.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, good.
Alright.
Alright.
It's not going to matter anyway. I'm going to kill everything before you guys get a chance anyways.
I do plan on making cards for the other things, by the way.
Cool. Alright, let's go find that mutant bitch.
Yeah, the thing about this, what we can
let's
do
sell shit and go find a mutant bitch.
is get a binder and have
Or
like
something.
a,
Yeah.
the magic card binders. These would
Yeah.
fit in
Mhm.
there, and then we could like exchange
Yep.
stuff.
I might take that idea. Magic items for 4th edition.
That's Bill Madden.
Yeah.
It makes
Well,
sense
that's what I
because
was
like
doing.
it makes sense because you're like, oh well, you can have this, and then
But
like
also
physical.
doing it
I don't know.
with
Yeah,
all
something
this
about the physicality of it.
That's why I like, the models and the theories.
Yeah. That's why
Yeah,
I
I'm
want to
always
go away from roll 20.
Trying to think of physical stuff I can,
incorporate.
yeah, and also make time to make.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's go sell our extra shit and go kill the mutant bitch.
Yeah. So as
Yes.
far as extra shit,
Ott gives you a pouch with it has in it a scorpion's tail, snake's fang, and a dead spider. And he says they're part of the ingredients for the potion that he wants made. Lekolab will have the what else is needed.
Scorpion tail, snake thing, and
I'm just gonna write op bag. Is that fine?
Dead spider. Yeah. Huh?
Op bag.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's real hot bag.
So,
And so I don't have anything else to sell you guys. You want to go sell your rapier?
Yeah.
So we'll go to the. We'll go. Well, we're at Tom. Or Ton or Tom?
Tom.
Ton. So while we're on Tom's, while he's getting his brand, she'll sell him the rapier.
What I added,
Oh,
like word for word.
oh, really?
This was the rapier from
No idea. Where was the
Well,
secondary
you gave
rapier?
it to me.
I did.
just now.
No, it was a few sessions ago.
Okay, so it was
No, it's just now.
Well, that was a stick.
No, talk about the rapier. Okay.
This extra rapier, we picked.
There was a rapier you had said you wanted to sell.
Oh,
Where was that from?
I don't know.
That was
Okay.
from like the cave.
you've had it for a while then.
I guess.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Alright,
Just
so it normally sells for 25. What is she?
he would take 10 for it.
Get 10?
There you go.
10 gold.
Gold.
Yeah, if it was the rapier that Georgix had, it would be much lower quality.
No, we didn't take anything.
No, we left them.
I got some sweet bugs though.
Yeah. Did you write down bag of bugs?
I did not.
Oh, come on.
That could have been the ingredients.
Yes. I don't know of any spells with bugs that spell components.
Dead spider.
Yeah.
Dead spider.
Yeah.
Insect form? Come on, that has to be.
Probably.
Just
You get
said
the
it.
impression it was like a snack.
Yeah, I get it. That's why I handed it to him.
It was a goodie bag. Okay.
Oh,
Swag.
Swag.
Alright, so let's rock and roll. Do we want to sleep before we go out, or do we want to?
It's
Or is
about
there anything else we need to
6
do?
or 7 in
Are
the
we
evening.
already rested?
Well, for now, yeah. It's about 6 or 7 in the evening.
What do you say we took a short rest?
I mean, I'm sure we
haven't
can.
done it
You
yet.
you haven't done anything, so you could have, yeah.
Yes, sweet.
Why did you need a short
You got
rest?
your one
Get my
key
key
point
point
back.
How is
When did you use a key point?
During the battle with the goblins.
There was no battle with
The
the
two
guy.
goblins and the
Last
ogre?
session.
Oh, that, okay.
Because that was
Same
coming
day.
into town. It's all been the same day so far.
Yeah, I was like, the one-shot battle?
Make sure you calculate experience points for that.
We did defeat the encounter.
Yeah, well,
It's encounters. They do milestones.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
That was the joke of the experience.
I wouldn't really call it a milestone. That was
Yeah, Billy.
Magic.
Yeah.
We're not
There
there.
it is.
help that you wasted. You wasted it.
We're not there. I'll do it again. That's a 10. It looked like a natural 20.
It looked like a natural 20 in my
No,
mind.
because you see a 0 here.
Both
Anyways,
I got 2 20s right here. I'm sprouting.
both higher than 3
Let me
though.
get one.
Shall we?
Alright, the 2 and a 1.
You can't... So I don't know how well you can see the grid on there.
I was saying, how big is each hex?
Kinda, yeah.
The hex, yeah.
Like 5 miles.
I'm still sort of working
Where
on
we go?
how far I'm going to make it.
Ah, we go.
Right
It's not that
now...
far.
Well,
Depending on how big the hex is.
Well, right now I'm thinking that 1 hex is a day of travel.
Okay.
I think. I'm still trying to work it out.
Can we go steal some horses?
So that would mean about a hex.
Or I'm willing to
Goals.
negotiate on how long we want to make the hexes.
Well, okay. I'm going to.
It'd be 6 days to get like to the center of the bog.
If we get to the
when
center.
we first got to Ispin,
She
I
said
had told
or
them
they
that,
got hot said
that I was
it was
going
the
to
center of the
be
bog.
procuring some supplies from the north there.
Right.
Oh, right, yeah.
yeah,
What
we
did you
started
want
that,
to
yeah.
get?
So,
So he,
what do we need?
horses.
Yeah.
That would speed you up,
That's
yeah.
a +1 stick. That's-
I'll say. Yeah, is there
Is there a +1 stick in the armor?
I'll say, is there
Some like dog comes out. Like,
Is there like
He just goes on with his.
a woodworker in town?
Yes, there is a carpenter.
Would he make the staff, or would it be the?
I
Would it
mean,
be
he could make
Tom?
a staff, but
We
he
need to
can't
find a
make it
whittler.
magical.
But would he have one? Would he have it, or would Ton have it? If he had anything.
Ton would probably have like a staff
So see if he has
Staffs
a
are
magical
big
staff.
sticks.
or a quarterstaff.
He might have gotten one in trade. Some.
No, I mean, I asked him for anything to help me merge. The stick would have fallen in under that category.
You asked the magic user.
Yeah, that's it.
Now we're at Ton. He's the blacksmith.
Yeah,
I thought maybe he might have came across one in trade.
No, I misunderstood you, my bad.
All right.
No, he doesn't carry magical items.
I assume not. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be 6 hexes to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop.
Yeah, I mean horses and food.
Yeah, I don't really.
I have 10-day rations.
I don't have any food, but he scavenges for us, so I'm gonna depend on him.
I can make food if I pick the spell.
You have good berries though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we don't need to eat.
Berries.
Berries are great.
Actually, do we want to rest and then go out, or do we want to leave now? Well, I mean, since it takes multiple days of travel, you should so change it to a pigeon.
She likes ducks.
Yeah, that's fine. But please change, you gotta change it to a pigeon. At least
That's
for
for like 4 hours.
no, at least for only our sessions, it has to be a pigeon because then it makes it. Then it's thematic when it goes off.
I will.
That's amazing.
All right, so
It's like a movie. Meet your phones.
we're getting a horse. We're leaving now.
Child.
Isaac is impatient. He wants to go.
Yeah, 5 horses.
I got.
Can we procure 5 horses with his military background?
Yeah.
And then leave.
I'm stealing 5 horses.
Come on, give him 5
Do you want to take the one that?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah,
magic an orb?
So 4 horses and that horse.
Okay.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
It's just I don't think anybody actually owns it.
It just
No,
chilling
that's
out
the
there?
one-
Like it's a
the one
wild
that got-
horse and it's like
it's
off
the one that
stick.
got away.
It was tied to the fence.
Oh, no. One that got away.
I really am.
How many of us actually know how to ride horses?
I'm not proficient. Oh wait, I am.
I'm
Oh yeah, let's get animal handling from the Latias.
I'm proficient with
I'm also
nothing.
So proficient just means I get proficiency.
Are you? Do you wanna offer assistance to anyone? Since
Oh,
you're-
yeah.
I'll definitely need it. I mean, I rolled a 9, but I'll need.
You want to
I'll need
school
pointers.
these peeps on how
Yeah,
to ride a
okay,
horse?
reroll then. I guess.
Okay,
Well,
I got
did you fall out? Are you bad at it?
No, I'm good at it.
Oh, so if you're gonna help me, then I'm gonna dump.
Reroll this.
A 10. That's probably average. What'd you get?
8.
I got a 10.
She
21.
only roll once or twice.
Well, you want me to help everybody?
Well,
I guess I can.
I'm
Yeah,
asking-
There's no reason not to.
Yeah, I'm asking if you're
You just give
either
it all.
helping or not helping.
There you go, 12.
Okay.
Technically, Isaac could help too, but he's not going to.
Did anyone get under 10?
I got exactly.
I got 20.
Okay.
I got a
21.
soldier bitches.
I'm not trained in animal handling or in.
Yeah, then we'll say that
I'm gonna
we'll.
break his horses.
But with a 10, I think that's about it.
Yeah, we'll say that will help
That'll help the party.
decrease the trip to 3 days instead of 6.
I
And I'll since I mean I'm
Would
still.
any of that be considered rough terrain along the way? 'Cause
It's
we
a lot
avoid
of
it.
grassland.
We avoid it.
Yeah, it's mostly grassland.
Because I mean I still have to update the map. Like I'm still sort of fleshing out the continent and stuff. And any ideas that anyone has, feel free to throw them out. So I'll darken up the.
There should be a nicely paved road with a magical.
I think the hex is fine.
Can we make
where
the
does it
road
lead?
yellow?
Well,
Okay,
straight
so
to the
that-
bog.
And made of brick.
Man, it doesn't need to be brick. It can be stone. Like a cobblestone, though.
All right.
How many syllables?
So a sun under the earth. I don't know what I'm saying.
I was saying, are you about to go like theatrical on this?
Yeah.
As the sun goes underneath the earth, and the moon rises above the sky.
First night, whose power watch is being dim?
I can take. You want to take first? Okay.
We need what? 2
How
shifts?
many watches do we need? Is it what, one per? What do you 2 hours?
Yeah.
How many do you want us to have per shift? Because normally you need 6 hours of sleep, so it'd be 1 per 2 hours. So I need 4 total.
3.
Well, that would be.
Oh, okay.
No, but if you need 6 hours sleep, then that means we need 4 shifts. Oh, I think it's
No, it's a 4. He said.
I'll say 2.
Okay. I was gonna say for simplicity's sake.
I'll say
Okay,
So
seven.
well-
you can take first. I'll take second.
So we only need 4,
6.
right?
Maybe 2. You just said
Just 2 watches?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can take it.
So you
Well,
can
I'll
do.
stay up with one of them and I'll forage for anything.
Okay. Well then,
I'll do
yeah.
a good night's
If
sleep.
2 of you are going to take a watch, then one of you can roll at advantage, or you can both roll. Or.
Well, no, they're taking turns.
Yeah.
Like 4 hours. 4
All right, I'm saying.
No,
but,
I'm foraging while she does.
Oh,
Somebody
yeah,
else
but
has to take a watch. Then we both of us are up with, and somebody else will take one.
So nobody's actually sleeping.
No, nobody's.
fuck sleep. I'll-
She's on watch. You're foraging.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping.
If we don't really need food or whatever, fine, I'll take another watch.
Well, I mean, you forage during the day, like while we're out.
I don't need to forage during the day. That's the thing.
Okay.
I can forage during the day.
If we're resting, I'm not losing myself.
You got it.
You're what?
He's melting
Melting
a
himself.
snake.
Roll animal.
And passing good berry and all that other shit that I always.
Oh right, you don't need to forage because he has good berry.
No.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot
We
of
can literally eat
processing.
one berry.
But you should
That's fine.
go
Like,
ahead and forage.
he turns into a snake. He finds a glass that he places
Oh,
down.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll
This
drink
is
your
some of
milk.
Our characters
Yeah.
in our last game.
Yep.
So who's taking the watch?
It's poison.
I think she has first.
Alright.
She has first.
I'll take second.
Did we have a roll?
No.
What do you need?
So you roll d20 and
Oh,
perception?
Yeah, perception?
Yeah.
Yeah, perception.
16 plus
That's pretty good.
Wouldn't it just be passive perception?
21.
But if she,
No, she's actively searching.
Could be either.
Yeah.
And
You can
then,
take a 10.
okay, so yeah, first watch goes fine.
I'm not taking a 10. Passive perception is 15.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Taking
but
advantage
you
is
but you
enough.
could you roll
That's
lower.
just what it's
Is the
called.
problem, which is
Yeah.
one of the problems with past perception. Yeah, that'll be 18.
Okay.
So 21 for the first, 18 for the second.
Yeah, the first night goes by fine. The distant, peaceful cooing of pigeons in the distance.
Someone else gonna need to take one.
He's going pigeon hunting.
So yeah, so as you're during the day though, as you're traveling along, you come across what looks like 3 large birds.
Pigeons?
Of what?
No, like large.
Rocks?
They look not that large.
Okay. I was like, I'm
No,
fucking
large, not huge.
Okay.
Picking at something on the ground.
No, just vultures.
From what you can see of them, they have sort of long, spindly legs and short, feathery bodies.
Horses? Flamencos?
Similar.
Murder mingus.
Just not pink?
No, they're dark feathers.
Can we
This is
see
the
what they're
next day?
picking? Can we see what
Yeah.
it's next morning.
So we're just
Can we
traveling.
see
Yeah,
what
this is while you're
Can
traveling.
we see what they're picking at?
You can make a perception check.
Okay. Natural 20.
Okay.
You see them. You see, as you take a closer look, you see
I'm looking so hard.
that their
You're
beaks
looking-
are sort of axe-shaped, and
Okay.
they're picking off what looks like meat and muscle and everything like that.
Of what?
From what?
A humanoid, an animal?
It-
I had natural
Probably
20. What is
animal.
it?
Well, it's
What is
it's
it?
mostly eaten, is what it is.
Yes, but what is it?
You can't tell.
It's mostly.
It's a big lump of meat.
Would I know that these things are hostile to us?
No.
Would he know?
I'm just gonna
I
ride.
know that
I'll
these-
tell
I'm gonna continue.
I'm gonna
on.
tell Nature Boy over here what
Yeah.
what
I'm
I
gonna
see.
ride right past.
To be fair, pigeons are hostile. to them,
or
so-
around them.
Well, yeah, around.
Let me
yeah.
ask what
Yeah.
if we know if they're hostile.
What if anything I
I'm
know?
gonna ask Nature Boy, see if he
Yeah.
knows.
I got a 15.
Okay. Yeah, you would know that they're called axe beaks.
I assume.
And they don't really have a disposition either way, since they seem busy with
Yeah,
a
like-
meal that they already have. Like one even looks up at you as you ride past, but it looks like it's more just to see whether you're approaching or not, and then it goes back to eating and lets you
Carrion.
ride.
Carry on.
I'm not doing
But
it.
these are large birds. Like they would almost
Make a
be
good
rideable themselves. Huh?
Damn.
Make a good meal.
We have good bears.
Saddle?
We're good.
Yeah, we don't need to eat them. Also, I don't know how good axe beak is.
Yeah, probably not.
There's only one way to find out.
That is true. Eldritch blast.
Watches for the second night.
I'll watch.
But just people that have perception should.
I will.
Alright, I'll go to sleep. Why are none of actually? You know what? I did that on purpose. I don't remember right now.
Yeah.
I make sure that neither of my characters are trained in perception because it's much more fun. Everybody's like, I want to read the best at perceiving everything. Natural 20s all
Yeah.
around.
It just fits the character.
I don't know.
But I agree with that mentality. Ooh, that's not great. That's a
Not bad.
14.
Okay.
Nice
Second
first
shift.
watch.
Yeah.
The second watch. Ooh.
15.
Did you just use the superiority dice?
Yes.
I'll get it back. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
Because he's a fighter.
It's a special ability.
He
Can you
gets
use that
dice.
on perception check?
I have no idea.
Yes, I can.
No.
Oh, because he's a ranger fairy.
It's
Or
the
it's a
scout.
fighter scout.
Yeah.
So fighter scout fairy.
Scout is rogue.
Ooh.
Rather not.
Fighter.
Rather not. I've been wrong.
So you get a 15.
Alright, yeah, second night. Second night goes fine.
14 dragons.
All right.
14 dragons.
In a world with no dragons.
They're all pigeon sized though.
14 right?
But their breath weapon is 14 times
I'd
stronger.
say, would you rather fight a pigeon-sized dragon or a dragon-sized pigeon?
Would be 100
Whoa.
pigeon-sized dragon.
Dragon-sized
100 dragon-sized
pigeon all day
pigeons.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't,
Oh,
they
that's a
don't,
whole-
they don't have rough weapons.
That's a whole lot of poop, though.
Yeah, they don't have rough
A whole lot of
weapons.
poop.
They have
But you
they
gotta
have
think,
butt
this thing
weapons.
can like peck you.
Ooh.
You're dead.
Back the fuck out of you, man.
Alright, third night. Well, on the way, if there's anything during the day.
On the third day, you actually get to the bog itself. You start to enter swampy territory where there's thicker trees. This is shit.
Yep.
What's the difficult terrain thing for your character again?
I think it's only in what's your favorite terrain?
No.
You didn't get favorite.
Oh, you're not a.
No.
Oh, so what are we talking about?
We are not slowed by difficult terrain.
At all?
At all, while traveling.
That seems busted. Ranger, you have to select your favorite
No,
terrain.
But revised Ranger, you don't.
Oh.
That works the same way as revised Ranger does.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I guess Rangers are good at everything.
You made Rangers better.
I know that the Rangers were very.
I'm just trying to think if that would
They
work
were
with the horses or
shockingly
not.
Yeah, because I know like
I'm just trying to think if that would work with the
I think it
horses
would just
or
he would be directing us to make sure we avoid the sludge and
Yeah.
I think.
not. Well, I mean, it's a swamp. It's all.
it's like horses.
Right,
There's
there
no
has,
way.
there has to be a there has to be a
walk
travel
through the
path typically, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Unless there's no traveling in this area. Maybe you don't have to.
did
It's
nobody
just a
travel
swamp.
through the
If there's nobody that travels through, then yeah, it would just be straight up swamp,
Yeah,
and that would be up
it's
to
just a
your
swamp.
discretion to if
But anybody coming onto us would have to go through that difficult terrain.
Yeah, of course.
Are there
Yeah.
multiple
Oh, yeah, I
people
mean,
coming with us?
I've seen Neverending Story. I'm not bringing my horse in
I
there.
think it's easy to look at individuals.
I'm very charismatic.
I seen Lord of the Rings. I'm not walking through it.
I'm flying over it. Fuck it.
I'm gonna ride on your back, just to return the
You
favor.
need the chain again.
Yes.
I'll chain you
owe
on
me.
this time. Alright, so day 3
If-
you get there.
Yeah, if you want to take the horses through, I guess the way I could see it working is if,
It would just be a normal
maybe
horse.
there was like, the way I'm gonna you don't have to like do this, but the way I'm imagining it at least then is like, you're off your horse, and so you're on your feet, and there are ropes connected between all of you and your horses, and so but on your feet you're able to better traverse the terrain and lead people and even
Makes
help
sense.
pull a little bit.
That's fair.
I need perception checks from everyone.
Ha! 3.
Every time you say "ha," you roll poorly. Like, literally every time.
3.
Okay, so the perception check
I
is
should've
what you
rolled- I
roll
should've said hot.
plus your perception.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
So you roll d20 and then you add your perception.
Just like move my 18 out of the way.
Yeah, suck it.
Suck
So
that.
I got a 23 for perception, and I'm waiting.
Got it.
22.
3.
3, excellent.
You would say 11.
13.
Okay.
Okay.
You both notice there are piles of mud all around you, but you notice a couple of them shifting and moving.
Oh, alligators.
Nope. It's mud.
The lady,
It's alligator.
beware.
I see it, Sebastian.
So they both see it, but none of us else does.
They can make you aware of it, but that's up to them.
My fellows, beware.
What?
Could you be more specific, please?
Let me find a pun.
Google search
There's
mud,
mud in there,
mud,
then there's
mud
swamps.
puns.
Okay, so
alligator chewing on my face in the background. Hang on.
So this one says, even when you're engaged in another activity while traveling, such as foraging, navigating, or tracking, you
Okay.
remain alert to danger.
Well, there you go.
Oh,
you're
okay.
alert.
Well, okay, yeah. So,
Would that just give me an advantage on perception? then?
Well, if it's like the
I can't be
alert,
surprised.
if it's like the alert feat, which seems really strong to
Mhm.
have. as a
where
free
so
thing.
you can't be surprised.
Right. So you would be like, God, there's something in the mud,
Mhm.
and we're like, what? What's in there? I don't see anything.
Now, while camping or
It's a dual hat,
keeping watch, that
What'd you
doesn't
roll?
count.
5. So 11.
That won't count when I'm like keeping watch during the night.
Because you're not traveling.
I'm traveling.
Right. Oh, that's pretty cool.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's really useful for traveling. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They made Rangers the
Alright.
initiative.
As-
They have initiative bonuses when they do this. Sorry.
Wanted
So
to
now,
add a comment.
so now we ready. I'm gonna ready for an Eldritch Blast for anything that
we
seems
have
scary.
we have a dad joke coming.
If you're gonna do it,
I love that she laughs.
It's all in
before
the
she reads it
delivery.
for everyone.
I want to hear it, but
I know.
I just know.
End scene. It's
Okay.
Hold on, which one is it? I'll deliver it.
No, just read it.
Okay.
Okay,
What's the difference
So-
between a crocodile and an alligator?
Don't take a moment.
Well, she's not doing it.
One you'll see in a while, and the other will see you later.
Oh my god.
so you see some slight movement,
Over.
but you keep going.
Oh god.
And Rose, out of the corner of your eye, you see. Oh, Rose is down for the.
She no longer can advise us.
Yeah.
Like, we all fall in the
This is
water.
no longer alert.
Yeah.
You start to notice that as you're passing one of the mounds of mud, little wings start to sprout out from the back of it, and you see little black eyes.
Jurassic Park.
Hmm?
It's
Dilophosaurus.
pretty dinosaur from Jurassic Park.
I think these things
Aw,
are why
look
it's
at you.
called
Penny that killed that guy in the
You're
first
so
one.
cute, little
guys.
guy.
Yeah,
It's the reason why it's called Skitterbog.
I'll just blast it.
What it is.
Well, I don't think we're getting a surprise round here because they're well
You didn't
aware.
ask me
Yeah.
to roll initiative, so I'm just doing it.
They're well aware of us now.
Yeah.
Well, well, I would like to shoot another blast when I can.
Okay.
Yeah, so and then this little, it almost looks like a flying little demon, but it's just dripping and covered with mud, and its own person seems to even be made of mud itself. And as well as that, 3 more mounds of mud appear as these
Do we have a
creatures
battle
as well.
mat here?
Yeah. There you are.
Let's make this happen.
Yeah, we've already opened up here.
Well, that's open. It's just
Yeah.
It's just leaved. Do you want to use hex or square?
Yeah, extra squares.
Hex is fine. I really don't have a preference.
I don't get the difference between the two. What's more beneficial? or
What's
not
safe to use on it?
It just.
I have the wet erase.
Yeah, it just. What's it called? It makes things less robotic.
I'm more a fan of the square, but I'll do X.
Well, you're wrong.
Well, the nice thing about the squares or the hex is that the squares have been tainted because we figured out that you're not supposed to use dry erase on a wet erase board, so they don't go away very easily. But this, I've been using wet erase and it cleans off right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, learning experience.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's not as bad as my mat.
Yeah. Where is the wet erase?
I don't know.
I think they're over here.
I don't think you got it.
Do you need figurines?
I do.
Upstairs.
Well, I guess that's good. We weren't surprised. I'm assuming you would have surprised the hell out of us.
Yeah.
Well,
Yay, go Scout.
Girl Scouts.
She is a Girl Scout then.
what kind of figurine would you like?
I mean, the rat piles might be good.
What kind of fly?
I've got bats.
What kind of flying
They have-
demon
They have wings.
has a
Yeah,
frog
they're
in its throat?
Flying demon thingies.
Oh Jesus.
A horsefly.
A dragonfly.
Yeah, again, the delivery. What kind of demon has a frog in his throat? What kind of flying demon?
This reminds me of Sebastian's.
A horse fly.
She even has like the fucking foot on a rock.
The captain
Sebastian?
Morgan
Well,
This is a male,
if, well, that's what I'm saying. If that was a female,
Sure.
that would be Sebastian.
If that was a male.
If Sebastian was a female,
Also
that
true.
would be.
Then
I can use this for him.
for the
Whatever you
quickly
have.
about the
Doesn't
Oh,
look
that
like
could be a-
terrain is
that
it
could
while
be a
you're
guy.
traveling,
Hold on.
you're not affected by
Oh,
rope
that's
terrain, or
Tristan. That is a guy.
Difficult terrain does not slow your travel.
Okay.
He's long
So
hair.
during battle,
It
it'll
can't be
count.
lost except by magical means.
Right. But during battle, it'll count as rough terrain.
I remain alert to danger when engaged in another activity while traveling. When I'm traveling alone, I can move stealthily at a normal pace.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Me, I ignore difficult terrain altogether.
What's worse than a worm in your muffin?
Yeah.
Hey, where's that? Did you
Half
get
a
rated?
worm.
Did you? Oh, you did.
Half worm in your.
Just half a worm.
Because you took a bite and ate half of it.
Thank you, Dr. Shrooms, for explaining to my
It makes
to my Rosa.
It makes everything.
I mean, I'll just use
Let me
my
explain the joke.
Pokemans.
No, I'm looking for my figurine.
Oh, okay.
Because I have the wings now, so that's about the only thing that I have that's a wing.
Oh.
Well, I don't even have it, but that is available. But no, as far as things, what do you need? Because I want to use actual things, not Pokemon.
Yeah, no,
Why?
you got so many things.
I have so many figurines.
Because he had them off you.
They're winged things. I don't care. They're medium
To correct
sized.
you,
Lady.
it's Dritz, not
What do you
Drizzit.
call an undercover bug?
That's spelled Dritz.
A spider.
What'd you say?
That's spelled Dritz.
That
Dritz.
delivery was much
Not
better.
spelled Drizzit.
D-R-I-Z-Z-T. Dritz.
Yeah, it's Drit. It's Drit.
The
Z's are.
the T before the Z. Dritz. Yeah.
Okay.
They're making it
It's Dritz.
I was thinking the D's were silent. Or the Z's were silent.
That makes sense.
My friends, what do you
Oh,
call
four,
it?
sorry.
What do you call a fly without wings?
A walk.
Fly less.
Yeah.
A what?
A walk.
I had a student last year who was obsessed with puns, and I found him hilarious.
So these are
He would go.
trees. I
You
need
found
to
them
go-
funny?
A pen with 2 erasers, but that would have that would be pointless.
Pencil.
2 erasers.
Pencil with 2 erasers, but that would be pointless.
It's better than explaining the joke and messing it up. That makes it much fun.
Oh my god. Like, I tried to explain to this friend, like, there's no such thing as a bad pun, or there's no such thing as a good pun. All puns are equally bad.
All puns are equally punny.
I don't know about equally bad, but the point of puns is to be bad, yes.
There is by definition no such thing as a good pun.
I love those videos that
Unless by good, it's
make
like a
each other
successful.
laugh with the puns.
Yeah.
Love the videos.
I need you all to sort of place yourselves in marching order.
Okay, where do we come from?
Yeah. And where
Your
do we
parents.
come
From here?
Where do we come from?
Your parents.
And what are these?
Your
Trees.
parents.
Those are trees.
Yes.
Those are circles.
Okay, then I'll be there.
And keep in mind.
I'm gonna be
that-
over here.
and, yes, and unless. And Rosa was the only one not on a horse. The rest of you are horseback.
Yeah, of course I'll ride that bitch into victory.
I'll be to the front because I want to fight her guys.
I mean. Yeah, you get to use my man.
Feels good to have your own man.
It does. It does. There's a recurring villain in there.
You should see how good it feels to have a painted miniature. A painted, weighted miniature. I told you to put a diamond on
That's
it.
the only other things that happen with wings.
I love
Those are just wings.
They're just bats.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
I thought
bats.
those were trees.
So these are all the same thing?
Yep.
They just look different.
Milady, what do demons have for breakfast?
I don't know, Sebastian. What do these-
Sebastian.
Deviled eggs.
Ah,
That's good. That's a good one.
We're missing a person. Yeah, where's Sebastian?
She's right behind me.
Oh,
He's right behind me.
we're missing.
Oh, we're missing
Yeah.
I am not your mother, Rosa.
There we go.
cheek reel.
There we go.
am I in the back? Sure,
Yes.
why not?
So now I need initiative from everyone.
I'm gonna roll a 17.
Whoa.
I roll it.
When? Not natural.
Right.
Oh,
Why not?
Nice.
Can I have that back?
What
Dirty
you might
20.
wanna go back to
Yeah, most
Not a
crucial jokes of importance. What happened? One.
technically, I rolled a 0.
So you're like,
Nice.
Because
So you
He's
never go.
taking a nap.
I'm at -1 anyway, and you can guess my aura applies.
That's funny.
you're very distracted by all the swamp log stuff.
I just don't give a shit. Nah. whatever.
Alright, so I got 13. Isaac is 0. Rosa,
21.
21. Nisha,
20.
20. Sebastian,
24.
Christ. You throw me dead before I even
I even roll an advantage.
So we have a 23, a 24, and a 20?
we have
Yeah.
a 21, a 20, and a 24, and
That's
4, 21, a 20.
12.
He's keeping track.
I have it written down on the whiteboard.
Wait, well, I need to know.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, you
But yeah, but I can't tell you what my creature's initiative is.
Hey, look, a jackal were.
you could.
Just opened up to it.
Hey, there you go.
I'm rolling for my my familiar because it goes on its own initiative order.
Pseudo dragon?
My familiar.
Your sort of dragon?
240.
Mi
There.
familiar.
Initiative
I'm the dragonborn.
+2.
I'm the dragon.
So 12.
I am the captain now.
So I would be related to.
Okay, well,
the pseudo
I've got
dragon
a-
more than he would be.
I have a 19, a 6, a 3, and a 2.
And me 1, A 19, a what?
19, 6, 3, and 2.
6, 3, 2. Very good. So we have.
Even
Oh,
at
it's
your highest,
awesome.
Even at your highest, you don't go first.
So we have 1,
I didn't go to that.
2.
My highest doesn't even place.
Yeah, it doesn't. Get wrecked.
Like,
19.
You can't see us.
it's all of you, all of them, me.
Yeah.
Okay. Sebastian,
Mm-hmm.
you're first.
On your horse.
Horse?
You're on a horse.
Everybody's on a horse by him.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't seem like a bad thing. Ride that bitch in there.
Yeah.
Is this difficult terrain? Do any double?
Now that you're not traveling, it is now difficult terrain, yes.
Okay, so
Sebastian.
So you have 3 squares in
Yes.
Grab that one behind
Excuse me. Roll the
Well, we're on a
It's double-
horse,
it's
so...
double.
you. Climb down and grab the one behind us.
Oh, the horse.
Well,
We're just
I'm not
gonna,
sure what
like,
the
run it
horse's
down.
speed is.
Since we're on a
Alright,
horse.
well, just tell the horse.
A horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe stab it as,
60?
as we go past
City?
I want you to hold it.
I think it's 60.
with a net.
Yeah, your horse is 60.
Yeah, but I have a war horse.
Yeah.
This is just a horse.
Heavy. So shitty.
Why is it not under H? Would it just be under?
Could be
something
under
else
W
space?
for warhorse.
No, yeah, these aren't war horses.
Oh, riding horses.
Whichever one
Oh, it's
you
under
grab.
R.
Riding horses.
Hold.
Speed is 60.
60. Alright.
Same as a warhorse.
It's in the It's in the player's handbook.
Apparently.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, so you'd be able to move to 36 colors.
You move 6 squares. Okay.
And I don't want to look up the rules for mounted combat.
For what?
Well, I would imagine you would ride up there and then get off the horse and attack it.
Or
But I mean, if it's supposed to double in movement, then I mean, are they flying or are they winging?
They're
They're-
flying.
They're in the mud.
They're hovering.
They're
Oh,
hovering.
they came out of the mud.
Yeah, so they're
Okay.
flying. Yeah.
So, most importantly, Sebastian just points at the holes that they're coming out of, the
Mhm.
blood things, and saying, look at these hell holes.
Yeah. It looks like
Yeah.
they were camouflaged as mounds of mud.
And then, kind of riding towards this one and throwing the net on it for Rosa.
Okay.
What do I need to roll for that?
Okay.
Okay, I got 19 plus my 6,
That'll hit.
25.
Their AC's lower than 25, guys.
Yeah, I know. Right? That tells us nothing.
Figured it out.
And then roll a 1d4 for damage.
Are you punching anything with a stick?
it's the hooked net.
Oh, the net. Which one's
Yeah.
the
That's-
1d4, the triangle. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
And it gets to break 4. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Now,
Poked out his axe.
does that get its? Does that get her dexterity modifier? Because it's a ranged weapon. The net is now a weapon.
Right.
Give it a
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. I thought we
So
did
that's a
dex
range-
before.
a range, yes?
Sure.
Because it's now a ranged weapon.
Sure.
Makes sense.
And that. So add your dexterity
So
modifier.
pokey
Is
damage.
that?
Add your dexterity
Yeah.
modifier for that
That's
damage.
7 points of damage.
Solid net.
But
That's
that's
a
not,
solid net.
how do you get 7?
Dexterity
What's
modifier.
dex
My
mod?
dexterity modifier.
It adds to the damage
Okay.
you roll.
Yeah. So you have plus 3 for dexterity.
So it did 7 damage.
Yep.
7 damage.
That bitch is wrapped up. Oh, maybe. You can save it.
Yeah, it's only at 12 DC, but it might not be strong.
That's not
Now-
50%.
How much can I move on the horse? How many spots can I
Do you have
move?
the circle?
No, that's
I think it's
8.
3.
It does +4.
It's technically
Remember
restrained
strength on
right
it.
now.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, wait, what?
Sorry, she has a +4 for dexterity.
Okay.
So
8
it does
damage.
8 damage.
I thought I said where these numbers come from.
And typically the large numbers, the scores don't really matter if the modifier that matches goes up.
Yeah. So in theory, all you need to really do is
Restraint.
roll like a 1d10.
Yes.
Anything lower than 4 could be a minus, and you have to roll 46.
How much movement do I have on the horse?
So
I thought rough terrain was just speed is halved.
It
Yeah.
is.
But they're on horses.
But we're on
Yeah. So the
horses.
horse's speed is halved to 30.
So 30 feet.
Yes.
So your
Which is
movement is
6
normal.
squares.
Okay.
So-
And these
Well,
are
30 because he's a
5.
monk.
These are 5.
Oh.
So you're saying 6 squares?
Yes. Okay. Actually, they are 10.
Mounted
but
combat.
your horse
You have to
has
be
a movement
proficient
of
in
60.
mounted combat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You
So
don't.
Yeah,
None
I
of
can't
us would
remember
use the
how
horse to
mounted
actually
combat
attack.
works.
So you're just gonna use the horse to get to where you're
Yeah, I'm just
going
gonna use the. Well, yeah. Well, I'm not gonna do anything, but yeah, I would suggest the people that are melee, yes, do that.
Oh no!
You ride to get there and then get off because mounted combat you can't do unless you're proficient.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll look it up to make
Well,
sure.
you can be proficient in land vehicles.
I don't know
Or
how many
stand
actions I
behind
can
the
take in a
Yeah,
turn.
Just one.
Well,
So you
she's
get an
the attack.
action,
So I
a
moved and
movement.
attacked.
Yeah, you get
That's
one
when
action,
you get one bonus.
action, and potentially one reaction, and it's reaction.
So-
That's a big one.
As a bonus action, can I just get off the horse to get ready to attack him?
I'd just be
I
removed.
guess this that would be part of the not no.
But I moved over here to attack him already.
Yeah,
You have 6 total
Okay.
movement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're good then.
I got
Yes.
You can actually move 3, attack, and finish your 3.
that's what I was going to do, but
Yeah.
I want to stay next to him for my melee.
Oh, you want to stay next to him?
Are these all male demons?
Yes.
Oh, that's a worry you have to worry about.
So on your turn, you can mount a creature that is within 5 feet of you or
Mount
dismount.
it.
Doing so costs any amount of movement equal to half your speed. So yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, okay, so if you dismount, you can't move anywhere, but you're not going to go anywhere
Right.
anyways.
I'm good. I ignore all the calls.
Yeah.
That is fair.
I just want it to be said that her character, in order for that character to work, she must know a shocking amount about monster dicks. just an
She
encyclopedic
is 300 and
knowledge.
some years old.
And
Have you
encyclopedic
ever
knowledge.
played Kingdom Death Monster? Those models have way too many penises.
Oh, way too many.
But-
Baby, giant, baby. Oh, what is it?
Many hands.
What
Encyclopedic
game
knowledge
was that?
of monster genitalia.
Yep.
That's right there. You're the authority.
What game was that?
Penis.
King of Death Monster.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy expensive, but it's a very detailed, good
Yeah, the
fantasy
miniatures
game.
are nice.
It takes
good.
place over your lifetime, so you start out
Ooh.
with nothing and you build up, and your models change.
We can look at that at a later time.
That's
Sorry,
awesome.
sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, link me to that.
Shall we?
It doesn't appear like there's any kind of restrictions.
Okay,
to-
I just wanted to make sure. Thank you for double checking.
Like it just said, like there's just no like you can't attack while you're on a horse or anything like that. None of that applies. It just says like if you want to control the mount, it takes your action to do so, and you just tell
Alright,
it-
you can make it independent or you can control it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't see anything on here that says anything about you can attack on the horse.
Yeah,
Alright, just making sure.
as long as I mean, I can see making an animal handling roll to make it do what you want makes sense, but
It's a
there's a reason.
DC. It's a DC 10.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason people fought from horseback.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just if I myself tried to fight from horseback, I'm not proficient in horse handling
Well,
in real life.
you're not proficient in shooting Eldritch Blast in real life either.
I'm just saying.
I can't speak Draconic in real life.
You sure?
No.
Have you tried?
Depends on how much
I can't. I'm unable to read any script besides English.
Okay.
What part's
Proficiently.
Cool. So,
Alright, so after Sebastian, then it goes
unless you
to
can use your bonus action.
Rosa. Well, yeah, she has a bonus action. I don't know what she can do with the bonus action. What can she do with the bonus action?
Oh,
Can she
I
punch?
thought she had an
she
offhand.
can.
Yeah.
But is her punch related to it, like the monk punch?
Does she have to actually
Yes, she has to actually. Yes, her. So
then
she
she's
can't just.
probably,
Okay,
She's
okay.
probably done that.
Yeah.
So that ends Rosa.
Well, isn't the neck technically an attack?
It's a ranged
No,
But it
it's
has to
not-
be
it's
a
a
melee.
melee.
Like for the monk, it has to be with a finesse weapon or something like that.
melee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not weapon or unarmed.
That character, but whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Your turn.
Plinkovich. Oh yeah, is Wingy McGee entangled in the net or not?
Yeah, that's what this
Yes, yes, he's restrained.
Okay.
Brought those back.
I have him every time.
I have a bunch upstairs too.
1, 2.
In case we, for some reason, need more.
Does 19 versus armor class hit?
19?
Yeah.
Yes.
19. We got it lower than 25.
Okay.
Metagaming.
Guys, a 19 hits!
All right. So I shoot that one. Wings.
I'm dead.
Aha!
That one.
the
I
mud.
shoot that one for 21 points of damage.
Okay.
Is it still alive?
Yes. Steal it. Kick. Still flapping.
Is it bloody?
Reasonably sturdy things.
The black goo comes out of the wound.
Do I still have line of sight on him?
Yes.
Action surge.
Yeah. What are the green dots?
Trees.
Trees. Okay.
That definitely will hit.
Drag races.
Happens quite often, actually.
That's because
And I shoot that one for. I shoot him again for 20 points of damage.
What was the
Oh,
roll
did I show you my mom's new car?
to hit?
Is it a viper?
19,
No.
20.
Okay,
Amazing.
okay, sorry. Yeah.
I'll show you after this.
Yeah, I said, well, I got a 17 and a 19, so they
Okay.
Yeah, they are turning.
And what was the damage?
20.
Okay. Yeah, that one falls.
Slipping. Blink, blink. Blip.
Bye bye.
Hello.
You're right.
I will be right back.
Where did they go? 1,
That's a Mustang.
2, 3, 4. I still have 2
Because she
movement.
sold her other car because she only drives to work.
It makes sense to like get.
Would I be able to climb up the tree?
It depends on what he said.
Well, these things are flying anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes sense to go here, just so there's still a tree in between you and that.
Yeah, I took care of that guy, so he.
I don't
Yeah.
think they're ranged though. Like,
We don't know.
Wait, that thing's dead now?
Yes.
yeah, you can go there.
You
Shot twice?
You get action search.
Oh.
The thing.
It is a thing.
Particularly when we're clearly in the last combat of the evening.
Yeah.
So you want to be here? You get half cover if you're behind.
I won't really need it.
Unless they have a range attack. And you're not.
Yeah.
Plus, they
Well,
can
I'm
move
very high
anyway.
dex. I'm okay.
They
I
can
want
also move
line of sight.
regardless.
Well, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean.
Here would be better line of sight.
But, well,
No, you're right. Yeah, there
yeah,
because.
there's literally no reason not to.
This. Well, we're
You
waiting
need
for-
a damn base on this, sir.
That's not mine.
That is you.
It's me for now. I'll do my own base. For my own.
Right here.
Out of my 2 now.
While we're waiting, that video game I used to work on, they posted an image that reminds me of that attic with all the dolls. You guys were in?
Hell, dolls. Damn,
Possessed
things-
dolls.
Sorry about that.
Damn things creeped me out.
Out of curiosity,
Yeah.
can I use multiple charges at once or just one charge per thing?
Multiple charges at once.
Okay, so if I wanted to blow it all, it's just a hit.
That got much better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't state that it's limited. That's
Yeah,
why I
it
asked.
does, yeah. I wish I'd rolled a not 3.
Yeah, I wanted to make it so that it's kind of like you can choose to
Blow the load.
try and use it over time, or risk using it all at once and then you don't have it for the rest of the day or whatever it is.
Right. Well, potentially multiple days because it doesn't fully charge.
How long does it take to charge?
It's 1d4 per day. 1d4 plus 1 per day, but you could roll
What's a max?
ones 6.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you could roll ones 2 days or 3
Yeah,
days.
still,
in a
that's
row.
pretty awesome. No,
Yeah.
no, let's wait in town for a couple days.
Guys, I'm not
Yeah.
ready. Alright. So, after Sebastian is Misha. After Sebastian is Rosa, then Misha.
Okay, so
Oh, I gotta spend it.
I get to move 6.
2.
How high is are the winged things actually flying?
They're just hovering above the terrain.
Okay, so you can just run over and do the
Yes.
business.
This one's restrained, so you'd have advantage to attack it.
So you're
Alright, you're melee, right? No, you're unranged. Are you still gonna get advantage on that too?
No, I'm gonna flash it.
Do you get advantage for that though?
Oh, no.
Okay, so only melee.
I don't think so. Maybe.
I thought you did.
Maybe.
Restrained,
Yeah, I was
speed
saying.
becomes 0, attack rolls against the creature have advantage.
Yep.
So
Okay,
it does
so-
not
so I
just
guess,
say
yeah.
melee. So yeah, I'll save that for you. I'm going over here.
Okay.
5, 7, 15, 20, 25, 30.
They're all the
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah.
Sickle swipe. Actually, what?
Dragonborn on a horse, swinging a
Just kidding.
sickle.
Oh, cut its head off when you ride by. Get a natural 20, please.
Sickle.
It's not gonna happen.
If it's a natural 20, can it happen?
How did we just lose 2?
We
Okay.
didn't.
No, the
Traded-
one that died.
There was only 4
Just
total.
swap
One
out.
died, I swapped it.
Oh, I thought there was 5 on there.
No. There's, he said 5 and then there's
Okay,
4.
so sickle attack.
So one's hiding.
Damn it. Okay.
That's not natural.
17 to hit.
Yep.
Okay, 8 damage.
We're narrowing it down, yes.
No, I'm sorry. Nope. That's a lot. 6 damage. I'm going to use a key point to do flurry of
Flurry of bros.
Flurry
Yes.
of bros.
I get to immediately use another. I spend a key point, do another unarmed attack on it.
You got it. Bruh.
Is it 2?
It
is 2.
You know what, John?
Hell yeah, it's 2 unarmed.
You get 1 no matter what. You get 2.
Yeah.
You get key points.
I'm
And
actually gonna
then
climb up that
I'll
tree.
be
I'm
using
gonna put
the
myself
open
in the
hand
tree.
technique.
Mhm.
So if I hit a creature with one of these attacks, then I can impose a effect on it. So, well, 16 plus 4.
Oh
is
shit!
20.
The one that died. I needed to know where that was actually.
It was like right there.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so 20 to hit.
It's got goo
Yeah.
coming out of it.
Okay, so 4 damage on that, and I'm in. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw and be knocked prone, and I still have a second attack.
But,
Which,
don't-
uh,
If it's prone, it can have
Oh,
advantage.
Sorry?
Which initiative one was that died?
That was the.
Enemy 1, 2, 3.
That was
4.
the 2.
Okay.
Does a 6 succeed?
I'm just saying no.
What's your save?
6 hit you.
Your DC is going to be somewhere around.
You told me to roll it.
Yes. Okay.
It's going to be around 12 or 13.
I'll check my spreadsheet. I made it for a reason.
Should be on your sheet.
It's right here.
It's 8 plus your
That's
proficiency
what-
plus.
8 plus
Your
plus
stat.
proficiency plus wisdom.
Okay. Key save DC is 11.
Okay.
So 6. So,
So it's
now
not
you have
prone.
advantage to attack it.
Yes.
Because it's prone.
This one's prone.
Yep.
Okay.
Which means we all have disadvantage against the range.
Well, 1
Throw
and
a-
4, so no.
Throw the purple around it so that we know it's not dead.
The purple around?
Right here.
I'm like, where's the purple?
Yeah.
I rolled a 1 and a 4, so I missed.
Got it. Thank you. The end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay, at the end of your turn, the one that was previously killed explodes
Oh shit.
in a splash of mud.
Yeah,
Everyone
that's
with
Okay,
everyone
okay.
within 10 feet of it make a dexterity save.
Dave's dead.
19.
You succeed.
Dave wins.
Yeah, it's the mud of its body combined with the muddy ichor of its insides, and his
Can
blood
we
splashes
imagine
past
that
you.
I see this coming and like jump from the horse to dodge it and then land back on the horse?
Pointless backflip.
Yeah, monks. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's a monk.
Fucking monk, man.
What's next?
Meanwhile,
Initiative
holding my
order?
dress down.
After Amnesia is enemy number 19.
Okay, which
Well,
one?
enemy number 1.
Holy shit, what?
They're minions. It's okay.
Oh my
God.
They're minions.
What?
It's okay.
Why does that one have a milk ring around it?
He's
It's
prone.
prone.
He's prone.
Yeah, I just wanted to differentiate it from the
He could
dead
be
body.
dead.
Oh, okay, but this one exploded.
Yeah, so that can go away now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That one remains trapped in the
That
net,
one should. Oh, it does.
and that ends its turn.
Awesome.
That one's technically restrained, so do we have anything on that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's white. So after that is number 5. That's me.
Hey.
Sword and righteous fire! Eldritch blast! 17.
Hits. Which one?
Don't get you an advantage.
I guess, I was going to be shooting at the one. with
Okay,
the advantage.
okay.
Just in case
I
I
just need to know.
14 damage.
Okay. Still kicking. But pissed and dirty and muddy.
And zappy.
Was it?
And the little Barbie.
Alright, what's next?
After him would be all the enemies, right?
After that, 5 and 6 is Zephyrus.
Oh,
Caw!
that's right, you
He
do.
gets an attack. That's cool.
Caw! He does.
Do it, buddy. Help action.
Oh shit, no, he's over here.
Yeah.
Caw! He gets to.
Wait till the next level. I'm gonna have a
Stinger
we're gonna
bite,
find
stinger
everybody.
bite.
I was gonna
They're
have
both the
fire.
same damage.
The sting does poison.
Yeah, I would say sting.
Bang!
Sting that bitch!
Stang,
Yeah, he actually might hit. 18 to hit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he also have advantage?
4 damage. Oh, it does. He has to do a. Alright, yeah, so 4 damage, and he has to do a Constitution save throw. 11 or become poisoned.
That is a fail. That is a poisoned.
So now he's poisoned,
Little
which
bitch.
means he has the status of poison.
Yes,
That means he doesn't need another ring.
Disadvantage on attack rolls. He is,
Now he has
Should
more
be a green
disadvantage.
ring.
yeah, he is
I don't have
restrained
any
and
goblins.
poisoned.
Yeah, but doesn't he have disadvantage of breaking out of that now?
I think he does.
No.
What does poison do? It,
Yeah.
it should be on here.
Yeah.
I think it has disadvantage on all ability checks.
Poison creature has disadvantage on attack and ability checks. Okay.
Haha! This is so good! Combo!
Yeah, yeah.
Then that and poison.
You know,
Alright, so what's next?
the way this is going,
After that, 6.
So sting and
I'm not going to bother you with
Seven.
trivia the way this is going.
Enemy, then
I get 2 uses.
I'm
Okay,
gonna-
so-
So enemy 3 and 4.
Jump the gun on
Okay.
my.
Well, yeah.
Well, I get it back in the short.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flies over behind Sebastian and
smacked.
belches mud onto you. I need you to make a dexterity save, please.
Roll that.
Oh,
That ain't
not
gonna do it.
good.
Well,
Dex plus 4.
yeah.
Saving throw, right?
But saving throw if you're
Do
6.
do you have proficiency in dexterity saving throw?
If it's 6, then yes.
Yeah.
It'll be 4 plus 2.
That makes sense.
It's not.
Well, then it wouldn't be
Versus
six.
Constitution and Strength.
Well, then it wouldn't be
Yeah,
six.
so it
Wouldn't
should
be
be
six.
4 plus.
Four.
So she's saying 6 total.
Oh,
yeah.
six total.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she rolled 2.
Yeah.
6.
So yeah, so the creature flies up behind you. You don't see it coming. All of a sudden, you feel this viscous mud just start to cover you. You are restrained for 1 minute.
How do you like it?
Strange.
It's
How do you
not-
like it?
Not so great.
We have so many.
There's so many status elements.
So many rings.
Then it is the other one you said, yeah.
Oh, okay, time to toss all of you in the
Well,
volcano.
has to use half of its movement to right itself, and
Mood.
then it can't go very far, so it's just going
Do
to.
these creatures?
Well, they're flying,
Sorry.
right?
Do these creatures?
But they only have
speak,
to
He's
move.
still prone.
do these
Yeah.
creatures speak any languages that we speak?
You can try talking to it.
Do they speak fucking?
Yes, and then it's going to belch on you, David. I need you to make a dexterity
We
saving
don't
throw.
have
Huh,
time.
I'm proficient.
Blech.
But no, I get the challenge.
15.
So I can.
15 succeeds. You
Speak
are
any
able to wipe off a lot of the.
Yeah.
You're getting pretty covered in mud now, but
Do the
you're just
traffic,
wiping
keep
it
my
off.
dress
Yeah,
from coming
exactly.
up.
Issue a challenge.
Oh,
of
shit,
which
your
you
dress-
share
Roll for the
language with.
horse.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh, I don't
Right,
know
should
what
have
the
rolled
horse is
price,
riding.
really.
Yeah.
Riding
Yeah.
horse.
Oh, for what?
Oh wait, never mind. It's just one creature. So never mind. Screw it. There's just you.
Attacking me,
What
clearly.
about the
Explosion? The explosion.
Oh yeah.
The horse was
The
there.
horse needs to roll for that. Yeah.
I'm doing
Horsey.
No.
They probably have like 10 hit points.
Plus 0.
How many hit points?
Do it, Horsey.
I don't know, 13.
Oh, that's not bad.
Do it, Horsey.
16.
Yeah. Fuck yes.
All right. It succeeds.
The horse also does a backflip.
Yes.
And lands first, and then you land on the horse.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys all
So
did the back
canonically, it'd be.
You just invented the X Games.
Oh no, just like
Congratulations.
shit.
That wasn't very smart.
No, it wasn't.
So that was both of them. So then, I believe it goes back to the top, or
No, fuck you.
Isaac.
The 0.
It goes back to the top.
The 0. Well, he rolled a 0.
We have to go a
yes.
whole round before he
I
gets
know.
the
Yeah,
point.
Yeah. So Isaac.
He said 0.
Alright, 0 times. The way this is going, I'm not going to bother you with the symbiotes because they'll be dead before I get to swing.
Yes, and I would say right now you have vision only on
All
the
these
one that's
people are
restrained.
useless in combat.
Oh, I know you would have vision on that one too.
Okay, well, I will
The one in front of David.
take 2 steps forward.
2 steps back.
And I will
Opposite
cast
the track.
I will cast Fairy Fire in this one.
Okay.
And what's it called? All attacks against it have advantage. You can't turn invisible.
And that it doesn't need to save or anything. It just
I
happens.
don't believe so.
No. It's
Oh,
Fairy Fire is
no,
a
there is
block.
there is saving throw.
No, doesn't it cast it in like a 5 block?
No, I know for a fact there's a saving
But I
throw.
believe there is a saving throw.
I was reading something else, but I remember that it does.
I don't know what you look to me for that answer.
Run up on the block.
So I actually looked this up earlier. I suck.
No problem.
It's okay, we're not playing your campaign.
Just looked up earlier.
It's a level 1 spell, right?
Nope. Oh yes, it is.
What spell?
Fairy Fire.
Fairy Fire.
I got it.
Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet.
Saving throw.
Okay, good.
Great. So I will put the
Dexterity,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll say
yeah.
So where's
Yeah.
your block at? Outline it with
It's
the
a 5 foot.
20.
outline it with the blue.
20.
Oh,
So
20.
you just get 2 of them.
I would also get her.
Yeah, no, it's choice.
Oh, my choice.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. No, you both of them.
Okay.
No, each object in a 20-foot
that's
cube.
what I thought.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I get both of them, and you're familiar.
Why would you target?
It has to be a cube.
If I try to get both of them, I'd also get her and you're familiar. Probably.
He's been
No,
saying
it's a
he wanted to
cube.
kill me the whole time.
Yeah.
It is a
Highlight
cube, which
it.
means it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is it 20-foot radius or 20-foot diameter?
It says each object in a 20-foot cube within range. I read it 3 times.
So I can only get one of them because they're 2 squares away from each other.
But that means they're 15 feet across.
Well,
20-foot cube
yeah,
is
it-
5,
it-
10, 15, 20.
Yeah,
5,
when it
10,
says
15,
when it's a
20,
20-foot
5, 10,
cube,
15, 20.
it doesn't mean
It's all four.
Yeah.
It's
20
4.
foot total or is it 20 foot
So it'd
long
be
each way?
20 foot each way, I believe.
5,
Okay.
10,
Yeah.
15, 20. So 5, 20. So you can do everyone. Or you don't. Just do.
Yeah, you can get those 3.
I guess I was thinking of it as 20.
If these were
I
10.
get what you mean.
Either way.
No, I was thinking 5, 10, 15, 20. That's...
Cool.
That would be
20-foot
one
cube is
block.
5 by 5.
Oh, is that an action or a bonus
I was
action?
thinking like
Action.
every while.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's the thing, you're already restrained, so they already have advantage against you. So you being Fairy Fire does nothing. Also, I don't like you. So,
And the one can't honestly have more disadvantage
Sure we
thrown
can.
at it.
Yeah.
It can. Yeah, it can.
Roll 4
We
dice
have
to hit.
quadruple attack against it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so it's what? Pro? No, it's with.
One
Poison.
thing really quick. All right, so I will. I will. He waves his fingers in the air, and the area lights up with magical fireflies. And he says, "Kill the shining thing, idiots."
Her?
Whatever.
Or him?
Interpret as you wish.
You know, I might just be a dick and have hit your familiar too.
Sure. He can die and come right back.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. You know what? Fuck you. Yeah, all of them. And then
He has
I
resistance
will.
against it.
I don't think I can. No, I can't save it.
Oh yeah, we have safe throws against
No, you
it.
don't.
It's a dexterity save throw.
No.
I also have
I was gonna say, yeah, he said it was
Unarmored
safe from
defense.
He just looked at it to confirm. It
He
doesn't.
said it does.
Dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
So,
No, it's
Well, that's a 3.
10 plus dex
And a 5.
plus charisma modifier.
You're
15.
right, that's your armor class.
that'll do
It
it.
just
Barely.
shows your armor
Well,
class.
the
That's
pseudo
not,
dragon,
that's
I don't know
all
what
he
it
has.
is.
Okay.
What is
It-
it?
it-
Dexterity?
it's only 14.
Yeah, it's plus 2. So 15.
So make a dexterity saving throw.
So roll a plus
DC
4.
is 14.
When you, yes, I'm also looking at this. When I make a skill check or save, I can also add my fisticuffs bonus die to it.
Okay, you
Any
can-
saving
you
throw?
can-
Any skill check or save?
I mean, how many times do you use that in the day?
Just once per 4
Okay,
months.
that's
Oh.
I thought it was every time. I was like, bullshit.
I have to decide to use it before the
Yeah.
roll is made.
Yeah.
So I'm
Okay.
I think
deciding
this would be
to use
wise
that.
No, seriously, everyone already has advantage attacking you, so it does literally nothing if it hits you. Literally nothing.
They already have disadvantage.
They already have advantage against you because you're already restrained. So it doesn't do anything to you. So
It
the,
won't help.
So
No.
just, oh no, she's restrained. Yeah.
she's restrained.
Yeah, so just roll a saving.
Yeah,
throw.
Yeah, you're basically already under the effects of the spell anyway. So there you go. Good.
Yeah, you're.
I still have a reaction and a bonus action.
So what does this fire do?
I'll save that. Everyone has advantage on attacking you.
Oh, that's.
Which they already.
But they already did.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Is she restrained right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
She got mudded.
Got mudded. Cool. And I'll bonus action Shillelagh, so I'll light up the stick.
Whoop.
And I'll save the reaction.
Got it.
And make myself a target. See if one of them wants to come over.
Okay. So now top of the round.
Yes.
Yes.
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Now make a
What can I do being restrained and having disadvantage?
little saving throw to get unrestrained.
She doesn't.
No, it's just restrained for a minute.
Oh.
It just happens.
Yeah.
She can't use her action to break out of it.
Well, she can still attack.
You can repeat. You can make that'll end your turn.
Right. You can attack with disadvantage. Well, you would attack at normal because he's.
Yeah.
If you attack to this one,
They're both canceled
yeah,
out.
you can't
yeah.
get out. So yeah, just attack that guy.
You
Yeah.
attack, I guess.
Yeah. No reason. Because again, you are fairy fire, so no reason to throw it like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. I just want to use my
Right.
Oh,
skills, but
Slashing or bludgeoning
How much
damage
do you
matter against these?
You haven't noticed any difference in damage now.
so can I do this with a bonus attack?
What?
The fisticuffs?
Although that did remind me, it isn't poisoned.
The fisticuffs
Oh,
is
I
a
mean,
bonus
that was-
attack.
oh,
Yeah,
it's
that's
a-
your offhand. Boom.
I think that was the red one.
Yes.
You can only use fisticuffs if you punch somebody in that follow up. That's what fisticuffs is.
Okay. So
yes,
I
you
can
can.
hit
If
this
you're going
guy-
to punch that guy.
Yeah,
you
I
can
can
use-
hit him twice.
Yes.
Yes.
With an offhand, yes.
Okay.
Much like monks.
So just a regular attack and then.
And bonus.
And
Yeah.
bonus action attack.
Okay,
Mhm.
so regular attack first.
Okay.
4 plus what? I mean, probably not, but
And
That'll miss.
all right.
you can go for the bonus attack.
Yeah.
right? Oh, there you go.
Plus 4. Oh, plus my fisticuffs bonus.
Yeah.
So or plus 6.
Yes.
So 20 plus my fisticuffs bonus.
No,
which
just
is what?
20.
Yeah.
22
hit.
hit,
Yes.
Okay.
and your unarmed strike is 1d4.
Plus 4.
No,
what?
that's just your main.
4.
So follow up is the 4.
Got it.
You don't add the damage bonus to your offhand.
You can roll d4 in place of the normal damage of your unarmed strike.
The main hit.
Changes to a different die.
It's worth saying amongst us, he has his modifier as unarmed.
Yeah. But that's because
Not for
that's
offhand.
This is just.
Yeah,
no,
for his
yeah,
offense
but
attacks.
this is not. She's not a monk.
Well,
He just gets the attack to hit. not the damage.
Yeah. For the
No,
offhand.
she
Yeah,
got
we
the
decided that.
bonus to attack.
Then
You don't
yes.
get the bonus to damage on your offhand, do you?
Yes, he does.
As a monkey does.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I
But
think we.
otherwise, monkeys
Yeah, I
would be
think it was
terrible.
the last time we played. We decided on that as well.
She wouldn't get the modifier for damage, but to hit, yes.
Okay. Either way.
But he gets the damage, because it would just make her class a better monk.
Because I remember some discussion about that while
Not
fighting
always,
the
but
ogre.
in many ways, yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, when you use your bonus attack, you may use your unarmed strike. Okay, so 8. Yeah. Use it for 8 then.
Okay, still kicking.
Okay.
What's a bitch?
Then also, yeah, so I did my 2 hits, and I apologize for not understanding this. I just want to make sure I'm doing all the right things in my turn.
Don't worry about it.
So then I can challenge it as well. Do either of these guys need disadvantage?
What type of action is the
What
challenge?
It's a challenge. It says you may issue a challenge to another male creature of which you share at least one language with.
Do you share a language with it?
Does it know common?
Well,
She
she
would
would have
know.
a try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could try.
I say, turn your attention to me.
Bitch.
It doesn't seem to
Bitch.
register what you're saying, just that you're.
Bitch.
It recognizes that you're making noise, but that's
Everyone
about it.
speaks this language.
Yeah.
Except
It
for bird
actually
people.
says that can be
Apparently.
heard or seen by both.
Does it say what type of action that is, though? Like bonus?
It's a
like-
bonus action.
Okay.
Well, you use your bonus action.
You use your
Yeah.
bonus action to attack.
Oh.
The offhand punch is your bonus.
Okay.
And you only get one bonus action.
See, I played other games where if you have free actions, you can take as many free actions as you want.
That would
But
be
that's not-
4th edition.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
free action, you
Okay.
can. Like, you can speak.
Yeah,
Say
and
stuff.
free is different than bonus.
Yeah.
I
But
say.
bonus has like oh, this is my action. That's a bonus action. That's like a
Yeah.
You saying a dad joke would be a free action.
So
Yes.
who's next?
After that would be Rosa.
Wait.
You have movement. I get.
Why
No,
do
you
demons
don't.
and ghouls
You
belong
can
so well?
roll to end
Why,
the
Rose,
restraint.
why, Sebastian?
Because demons are ghouls' best friend.
Oh my god.
You can roll a strength check to end the restraint on yourself at the
Can
end
I
of your
roll
turn.
intelligence check to get away from her?
That's the real reason I cast Fairy Fire on her. Centered on her. Like, oops, sorry, I guess you
16
died.
plus.
You break out of the mud. Yeah.
Oh, so it's not just 1 minute?
Yeah. It says
But you have to repeat at the end.
1 minute. A creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turn.
Okay.
You're fine. Well, doesn't really matter because you're Fairy Fire.
Yeah.
Oh well. Sorry, not
I was
sorry.
gonna say that like
Hashtag sorry.
Alright. So
not
who's
sorry.
next?
Rosa.
There you go.
How
Did
long
you
does
damage
that
that thing?
stay on me?
that one. Yeah,
Until
How much
yeah,
damage?
10 minutes or until
I
other
think it
thing
was
10 total.
10. Is that? Yeah. Was it 10?
That's what I have.
You
For
may
what?
find
I think
yourself
it was
tangled
7
in a
and
net
then
at some
4.
point.
It should be 11.
Hmm?
You may find yourself
For what?
tangled in a net.
The
at
damage
some
I did
point.
to
It's
it.
fine.
I have 6 and then 4.
Hit damage.
I rolled a 4. I know I rolled a 4 for the hit, so.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's plus 2. Yeah, you're
Okay,
right.
now this guy has
Yes.
not really done anything, correct?
And it is looking rough.
These are
there.
straight.
But he has taken an initiative turn. You don't have to.
No, it says.
He tried to break free from the net. He tried
Okay,
to-
so that's
Yeah.
taking an action then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna shoot that guy.
Got it.
Well, you shoot the one that doesn't have. You have advantage to hit that one.
I have advantage to hit them all, but so do you guys. And that one's, he's way over there with him.
Why advantage to hit him?
Huh? I don't have advantage on him.
You do have advantage to hit this one. Fairy Fire.
Yeah, but
Did
you
it-
guys
did
are
it
on
say
the
professional?
table.
And you.
I just don't want him to
Is
die.
this a fair
He's not
card?
gonna die. He's fine.
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Alright.
He's taking no damage.
Can't-
And
I would say no
and this
vision
one-
on that one though.
Yeah, you're at a tree.
I'm in
Well,
the tree.
You're a sharpshooter, though.
Yeah, he's up in the tree.
As long as he can see any part of it, he's a sharpshooter.
Yeah, I ignored partial cover.
Unless he's fully covered.
And you can use you can use your -5 plus the handicap advantage.
I mean, they're supposed to be small. I don't know. I guess it's just that since there's 2 right there.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's up to
got
you.
full
If I don't have, if I
Yeah,
don't have
I
line of
don't
sight,
think
then-
vision on that one, but the other 2 just fine.
and that one's looking rough,
Oh yeah, that
You
one.
can just let my pet probably kill it. Or me.
and I'm going to attack that.
All right.
Thank
You
you.
do hook damage.
I'm going to take the. I'm going to take the -5.
Five good.
Got it.
You're gonna roll 3.
Bold choice, Cotton.
17 versus upper class.
That'll hit.
Yeah.
What's that from again?
Dodgeball.
That's right.
Bold choice, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
I hit him for 20 points of damage.
You got it.
Oh yeah.
Is he still alive?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's got somewhere around 40 points.
Goes through its thick, muddy wing.
What is he like weak?
I did 10.
He's all alone, whether he's weak or not. He's
Oh.
all alone.
He's fine. It's 1. It's
Um,
1v1.
He's
It's not like
taking
there's
no
6 around
damage,
them.
so fuck.
I'm sorry, it is 2v1.
Huh?
No, I mean like There's no. He's
I'm
not
right
being.
there.
He's
I'm
not being
always watching.
surrounded.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's watching.
As I guess a free action, I don't know, can I do a perception check? Would that be an action?
That'd be a
or can
free
I use it
action.
as a bonus
It's
action?
supposed to be an action, but it's.
I'm up in the tree. Do I see it?
Yeah, I would allow it as a bonus.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
I allowed it.
Makes
bonus.
sense?
Yeah.
Just a quick look around.
Actually, makes sense.
So an 18. Do I
Should
see
be
anything else coming?
No.
Or anything else?
Should be a free action.
Or if you're
You have
tricked-
6
if you're-
seconds.
No, I,
2 seconds of the entire.
Oh, that's
everything.
right.
Yeah.
Maybe if
that's
you're,
one.
if you're trained in it.
Yeah, I consider it.
disadvantage
I'd still,
if you're not disadvantaged.
for the most part,
Like that.
find
Yeah.
skills find to be
Or
used
like
as
if you have
bonus
to treat
actions
yourself.
for the most part.
Okay, cool. Well, it's good to know.
So after that, Misha.
Misha!
Okay.
Kill it.
Sickle them.
Kill it and get back to the rest of us.
Misha!
He's dead.
14.
That'll hit.
Oh.
Wow.
3 damage.
3 damage. Okay.
And
What's that?
1 punch.
Man.
One
Uh,
punch.
yeah.
God, I love one punch.
15 to hit. So
I
then,
can't wait to
That'll
see
hit.
it too.
4 damage.
Me too.
Alright.
It's like one of my favorite shows.
Me too.
Still kicking.
Pretty great.
Does he look hurt?
Oh, yeah.
He specifically said kill him.
I tried.
Do
You could
the
have spent. You
thing.
could have spent the key point.
I could have.
Yeah, they seem to have like a black viscous blood that matches their muddy exterior, so it all just starts dripping together.
Hell yeah, they do.
You see, John, my thing is.
All right, then after that,
I really want my second.
My turn's over.
it's enemy number 1.
Alright. Enemy number 1 has to try to break out of the net.
Yeah, the high 19
5 before you roll the
initiative.
glass.
Oh.
That's true for like
He's gonna be
literally
at 12.
4.
Just doing a super niche build.
Alright, so
I'm just gonna end his misery.
whose turn is next?
That's me.
Okay.
End his
You have man of many hats on you.
Yes. But we didn't never put in a fighter.
Oh,
I don't know.
Eldritch Blast.
So the only thing you have is you can use a second-
12 points of damage.
You can't use an action surge yet.
Yep, that and it dies.
Yeah, I ended his misery.
Take that.
It
Oh, shit.
falls down.
He lays right there.
Yeah, I know.
He's
Yeah,
going
it
for-
falls
I was
down,
taking the thing.
sinks into the mud, and then
He's
explodes.
going for explode.
So I'm gonna roll for the other one, of course, but then I need a roll for
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
And the familiar.
And familiar.
Is it dexterity save throw?
Sure is.
That's you.
All right, the other one makes it.
Is it a magical effect?
Not looking great.
Nope.
I did not miss it. I'm pretty sure I got
11?
hit.
11 does not make it.
Alright.
No.
Sebastian, you take 4 points of damage. This mud burns you a bit, and
acid burn.
the
Acid.
familiar
That's the first
takes
damage
2
you take?
points of damage,
Today, yeah.
and is restrained until the end of its next turn.
Who's restrained?
The familiar. And
And
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Get doubly restrained.
Re-restraint.
Or re-restrained, yeah.
And does that end your turn? And it exploded, so it can go away.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, after that, we've got Zephyrus.
Don't worry about shooting the one.
So restrained is
can't really
movement
say
half,
this.
or what is it?
0.
Oh, movement 0.
Yep.
You're-
Yeah, well, I thought it was like half.
It's mud.
What's
taken-
restraining?
taken up his
How do you
wing.
restrain something that's flying?
Mud.
Apparently I'm on the
You cover
ground.
it. You cover it in mud and it falls to the ground.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just end his turn and then.
I knocked one prone earlier. It's okay.
Well, at the end of its
Natural
turn, it
20.
just
Oh, it just happened?
yeah.
But there was a. I bet you repeat the save. for
That's-
that.
That's when it. That's from when it spills on you.
So it's, so it's just no longer restrained.
Yep.
Okay. And then after that, it's.
That's been pretty restrained.
Yeah, the death burst ends at the end of the creature's next turn.
After that, it is both the other. Well, the other dudes.
Dude. All right, then. Yeah, that one's going to attack Sebastian
With advantage.
with its fists.
Actually, it's restrained.
It's a fist.
Restrained for that disadvantage.
Okay.
Well, so it
So
counts
it's
as that.
just-
Things have fists.
Yeah.
Good hands.
Yeah,
See?
One would
I wasn't
assume.
expecting them to have
They're on
hands.
there.
Okay, that's
Do
a
you see
gargoyle.
them? It's not Gargoyle.
That's like a
It says
gargoyle.
gargoyle on the bottom.
That's not Gargoyle.
It has advantage.
Yeah. it's Gargoyle.
Yeah, but he also had disadvantage, so
Why?
because he's restrained.
No, it's not.
It wasn't.
Oh,
That's
it's
fairy
fairy
fire.
fired.
But I thought he failed to save versus the boom.
No.
Oh, my bad.
No problem.
My bad, yo. My bad, dog.
You think it would be like immune to their
Does
own
a
blood?
17 hit?
Sebastian?
Yes.
What's your AC?
I thought it was
Does a
higher than
hit?
that.
I think 19.
I thought it was 19.
No, it's 18.
Either way, no.
Then yes, it does. All right.
Misha.
Then
Get punched.
our little friend there is.
Gonna run away.
Put your hands up high. Wave them side to side.
Attack of opportunity. Unless he's
Yeah.
That's totally good.
attack of opportunity. Okay, so whenever an enemy leaves the space that is occupying you, like while you're locked into combat, they're trying to run away, you get to attack it as a reaction.
Oh.
So
Just a regular
no,
attack.
whatever, yeah, a standard attack. A natural 20. I saw 0.
No, 16.
That'll hit.
Punch it in.
2 plus 4.
6 damage.
Okay. 6 damage. That is
Oh,
the
that's
first
the
hit
French.
it has taken.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why did you run it?
Did we murdering his friends?
Oh,
I'd run too.
what a punk.
But is he still in Fairy Fire?
It's on him. It's
on
not
him.
radius.
It's
It's only radius when you throw it down.
Yeah. It's stick to it.
Right, then who's next?
It's outlines him. When does that last?
10 minutes until
Enemy,
points while
enemy,
those
and then this guy.
Yeah, this guy.
Alright. That one's going to.
I think the one
actually,
against Misha.
Yes.
does not get its belch back. It is going to fist you, Misha.
Oh,
Right.
Get fits.
I have a dress on and I'm on a horse.
Ooh, how does
You
that?
still-
You are wearing a dress. Nice.
Does that mighty 12 hit you?
No.
Good.
That's right.
And it is.
He's been rolling hot today.
It's the first
Then
time I didn't
that's
get
that.
it.
Alright, then it's Isaac.
Good old easy.
I sack.
Isaac.
Sack.
Isaac.
Isaac.
Cool. I could go help him, but I don't like him either. So I'm gonna go
I
over
was
there.
gonna say, you don't need to help me.
Yeah. I'm gonna ride towards
Nobody
him
needs to help me.
and swing my stick
Okay, he's fine.
and what it called and what it called
I think that's
and call out let nature claim what the life it gave. Not the 2 though.
By shooting the
the
ground.
I tried to hit the ground.
That was a warning shot.
Is that it?
I won't miss next
I'm letting you
time.
know what I could do.
Sebastian.
Well, that's I get bonus action.
He's sport.
Intimidate.
No, not burning
No, he
reaction.
didn't do the symbiote.
No, I can. It just does half damage.
Okay.
But
Just wait till he runs.
Then it burns my reaction. Yeah, exactly.
Just intimidate
Sebastian.
it with the whole.
So wait, hey, I have a bonus action. I'm gonna cast Shillelagh again.
You got it. Okay.
Okay.
No, wait, none of those are.
Shillelagh, the last one.
No, last until I put the weapon down.
Yeah.
But I have a bonus action I'm not using, so. Glowing
Waste
twice
of
as hard now!
Nice.
You guys are fucked.
Alright, then I think it goes back to the top, yeah?
Yeah, Sebastian.
I got super wood.
Oh, wait, no, hang on. I'm sorry. I have advantage because Parker's Fairy Fire.
Yes.
4. Alright.
You doubled your roll.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
You couldn't have gotten any more advantage.
Good thing I remembered that.
Yes.
Good job.
Okay.
You cannot move.
Are you restrained? You are restrained.
Yeah, that'll go away at the end of your turn.
Give a range.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Throw another net. Throw another net.
Throw a net at this guy.
Are you gonna throw it 20
Bless
feet?
you.
I don't know.
We are going to have to unfortunately say that the explosion ruined the other one.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
it's a
okay,
net.
so don't throw this net.
Oh, well, then I can't do anything really.
You want another range net?
Mm-hmm.
Throw your rapier at
Throw
him.
your. Yeah, you can't really throw.
You can throw anything.
And if you
Throw
roll
anything.
It's just,
If you roll high
My
enough.
forks and
I'm
knives.
not
You
good.
just can't be
Ooh, throw your
proficient
knife.
knife.
That's a 1d4-ish.
Yeah, it's a butter knife. Sure.
Oh, it's a butter knife? That's
It's
bludgeoning.
just serving.
A bludgeoning
1
weapon.
damage.
What about the fork?
1 damage.
Piercing.
Probably
Natural 20 just stabs him right in the eye.
For
Oh,
1 damage.
It'd
Well, 2
Two.
technically.
be 1d4.
No 1.
1d4.
A butter knife is going to do 1 damage.
Improvised weapons
It'd be
are
2 damage if she crit.
It's a guideline.
unless the DM says otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay, should
Checks out.
I throw my net or no?
I mean, you'll
Throw
run
your
out
net.
of
It's going to
knives.
explode. Ruin the net.
Let it
Yeah,
go.
you saw your other net get ruined.
Let it
would you,
go.
would you
Let
throw
it
your net?
go. Let it go.
So just so you're not.
So
now
I
you're no
can do
longer.
nothing this turn.
Well, yeah, now you're no longer restrained.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
It just wears off.
Who's next?
We got Rosa. first.
16 for summer class.
That'll hit.
Which one?
That one, it had advantage on it, so.
Yeah, you can see it now. for sure.
19 points of damage.
There is a tree.
You got
You can
it.
see a part of it though. She can
Still
see
kicking.
Jesus.
Kept playing.
Interesting.
Well, this one was the first one that wasn't hit.
Yeah.
And he missed. So
Yeah, that one.
Man, he's so useful in
I guess in my
combat.
mind I was banking on you doing some damage.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah, if he had done damage, that might have
So,
been a different outcome.
sickle.
Sickle.
Sick him, son.
I'm sorry, I had to do it for 50.
Ooh. 10 to hit.
Miss.
Okay, using a key to do flurry of blows. And let's see how this goes.
Punch him right in the nuts. Natural 20 right
Double
here.
checking.
What?
Double checking how many times I can use open hand technique. Doesn't say. So, I'm
As long as
gonna
you're-
use Ow! 20.
Hey, I
I
called
want to
it!
use open hand technique to push it 15 feet.
No, prone it, dude.
Okay.
I want to push it so if it explodes, it doesn't get on me.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, that's
Or you could just move.
No.
No, he's gonna kill it with his head.
I'm assuming it's immediate explosion.
I mean,
Did we figure
If
that
it were
out?
to die, would it be?
It's been happening at the end of like the turn.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
okay. Then I'll just knock it prone then. So
Okay.
dex save and knock prone. Is it just double the die for a crit?
Did you do damage?
Double the die plus.
How much damage?
Well, is it just double the die or roll a second die?
Oh, it's double the die.
Okay,
Double
so
the die.
4, 5, 6.
Okay, it does.
Okay, so
And it explodes.
In that case, retroactively push it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
that's cool.
okay.
Yeah, push it over.
so I punch
That's
it.
what I said.
Wait, is this the sickle?
Slam
No,
it
this is
into
the
the
punch
tree.
it.
Yeah.
So I
Slams into the
punch it.
Yeah, you
I
slam
give
it
it an
into a tree.
uppercut.
Yeah.
And it explodes the tree.
And you yell, Shoryuken!
Yes. And then I can use a move to go, what, 6 squares, I think?
Yep.
So
Well,
1, 2, 3,
no.
4,
Well, you're some horse.
Yeah, you're
6.
horsey.
Yeah.
So I can get to, can you put me 2 diagonal back from that tree? Yeah, right there. Nay.
Alright. After that, do enemy than me. Ah.
Okay, so I use 2 people.
Did you say enemy then you?
Well, the enemies that are now gone.
Oh,
The
okay.
19, the initiative guy.
Yeah, what we have left
which
is
enemy
the
was
6.
that one?
He was enemy
The 6 is left.
6. No, he's dead. Enemy 2? I mean, I just crossed it out.
Every 2 was the first one back.
Anyways, there's gonna be one left here. I'll drink blood. Actually, no, I'll guiding bolt it. Fuck it. I'll guiding bolt it.
Can I paint that?
Yeah, except what do you think of that?
I mean, is it looking hurt?
It looks like
Yeah.
Longfellow.
I'll just guiding bolt that.
First guiding bolt hit?
Natural 20!
You want to give him a parrot?
I will do it.
20 damage.
Alright. Yeah, that's dead.
So I need to get going.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't.
That's what I figured we were running after this combat anyway, so. And that's the end of the combat.
Woo! But it does explode.
It's gonna explode, yeah.
Everyone dies.
Good thing I'm-
Except for me, because I'm too far away.
Good thing I'm so
Dude, I'm
dexterous.
still in a tree.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I
I
lost
meant
all my
everyone
arrows
died.
that I shot because I exploded.
Or they went into
Yeah.
biscuit blood.
Yeah. Hang on, I need to see how dexterous I am. I'm so dexterous. That's a 7.
Doesn't succeed.
I mean, at least you're
Is
increasing.
David
now.
within 10 feet?
No, no.
I'd say,
No, I don't think
I'd
so.
say
No.
15.
Okay.
Technically not.
So you take a
I'm at the
measly-
wall of the 10 feet.
You take a measly 3 damage.
Okay.
Go ahead, Dennis.
Okay, so the thing explodes on me and blasts mud all over me. I'm gonna turn towards you and spit out some mud and say, anyone who ever loved you is wrong.
You don't know who did that. I'm all the way over here.
Get hit with a guiding bolt.
I don't know what that is. I'm sure you used
Pretty
that
sure no.
before.
I thought he's intelligent.
You are literally the only
You might-
person
you might.
that uses magic to attack in the party.
That's funny. You got it with a guiding.
Aha! Victory is ours!
Dun, 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 dun.
We had a theme song too.
Not yet.
What did I just do?
There is the Final
That's
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
Oh, there we go.
Victory fans.
Come on.
I've never played any of the games out of that stuff.
Same, but I didn't recognize the way you guys were doing it.
Very awesome.
So at our wedding,
Oh no.
we
Do you wanna stop the recording?
No, this is awesome. This is awesome.
so I don't like the. I think I told you this. I don't like the dollar dance. So we had a
I
dollar.
don't even know what the dollar
What the
is.
Dollar bride
no
and
idea.
dance.
No idea.
No idea what
They
that is.
somebody pays the bride $1 and you dance with them.
Well, there's a line. Somebody collects the money to dance with the bride on the groom.
It's so weird.
I don't like
That is
it.
an extremely
In
strange tradition.
some cultures, they'll pin the money to the bride. I just don't like this. So
Okay.
It's really slippery.
yes,
Yeah,
that's
really.
why I don't like it. So we made it $1 duel. You pay $1 or more, and you fight the bride or groom with jousting sticks. And
Oh, I've
jousting
seen
hands.
That's
Oh, that's
amazing.
funny.
So we had the Final Fantasy fight music playing the whole time.
It's like the boss music too.
Yeah.
From Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, what's your
It would be awesome to have like the Pokemon music with
No.
the.
No.
You can stop the recording.
Oh
Bye,
yeah.
guys.
And then with a crazy drum.